Right. Good morning. I don't think anyone's here, but that's fine because I'm going to just start anyway. Okay, interesting. Price action has been a little bit mental. Okay, so look at this green, 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 green. Amazing, amazing price action. All right. Let's just have a look at all of this and see what's going on. Right. What was that? That was the fib pool from the all-time high to this pivot low here. We're coming in now into the golden pocket, finding a little bit of resistance, and then the point of control is slightly above the golden pocket as well. And what I'm going to do right now is update my volume, making sure that the volume levels are correct. Value area low, point of control, value area high. So no changes to the volume profile of this range. So I had some other ideas last week, and so I'm just going to pull them up and just see where we're at in comparison and see if I need to change them and stuff. So initially I have, where was it? That was the V shape. So kind of trying to get up to the point of control. Very bullish V shape. And so yesterday was quite interesting because the price dipped all the way down to the 50 fib and then just was brought right back up. I didn't actually expect that, to be honest with you. I thought it was quite unusual because I think this candle here, this daily, yesterday's daily candle is very, I haven't seen it on Bitcoin, really. If you look at all the daily candles, these green ones, maybe this one here, maybe something similar to this one. It's not often that you see the price dip and then get bought up on the same day, which is what this one was. See that? So you basically, it's a green, it's an expansion candle followed by a pullback to buy up all the way to close higher. So you see how this pulled all the way back down, closed higher. This pulled all the way back down, closed higher. Okay. The difference between this candle is there was a wick on top, whereas this one we have no wick. And naturally what's happened now is the price has pushed up, found a little bit of resistance, and it's pulled back again. Okay, whereas this one, the liquidity was cleared in the initial candle, so that when the price moved up, didn't really find much resistance. And then the next one was a red doji before we had another expansion into the point of control. It's quite interesting that we're getting some kind of similar candle behavior at a very similar place, potentially leading up to the point of control. Okay, very interesting. Other than that candle, I don't really see many green candles followed by green candles which wick all the way down and then push right back up. I'm looking at all of these candles. There's one there as well. See, look, so this is quite an interesting candle because this shows you the other side of the story. So you have wicks all the way down, clears the liquidity, closes higher, but then goes down. Context is different here. This is following a drop, push up, whereas here we're not following a drop, are we? It's like continuation. We are getting a little bit of reaction right now. You can see there's a little bit of reaction. I'm going to have a look at that right now as well, on the order flow. Other than that, those candles don't always appear. There's another one here. Look at this. Green doji closes higher. You have a red, and then you have an expansion. So there are a few. Doesn't happen often. And so it's quite interesting when they do happen. This is a green doji followed by greens. Again, another green doji. So we don't have that big wick on top. That's potentially the difference. But otherwise, I think it's quite a bullish buy up because there's hardly any wick at the top. And then as the day closed with no wick, that was just a signal for people to just take profit. Why would you not take profit if there's no wick, which signifies that no one has taken profit in the context of the candle? And then so naturally people will take profit, and you get like a 3.5% pullback. And what's interesting is that you get the pullback and then you get an immediate buy up. Okay. And so as soon as that 12-hour candle closes, you just get another buy up or whatever. Which candle was it? It was this 4-hour candle. It looks quite bearish, but actually it just closed onto support and then it just bought right back up. Okay. Bought back up, made a new high, and back in and pushing into resistance. That's quite bullish price action, isn't it, for people to just keep on buying into resistance. They're not really fussed about resistance levels, because they have a firm belief that that Bitcoin is going up, and so naturally they're not thinking to themselves, what's my invalidation, what's my stop loss, where am I, what I'm about to risk. They're just like, we're going to the all-time high, we're going to price discovery, let's just buy. Okay, so that's how people are thinking. The reason why people think like that is because they didn't expect this. This was unexpected. Yeah. So we were looking at this and we were like last week, and I was quite bullish because of getting back above the range low. I said you just can't ignore that. And the selling was failing at the lows. It was just, the sellers were struggling, and then as the price starts to create bullish candles with higher lows, then people just continue to buy up, buy. No selling really. It was mostly buying. You got increasing volume on the rise, very healthy rise, increasing volume, increasing price, very healthy price action, very different volume profile to previous rises. If you look at this rise here, you see it's kind of slightly decreasing volume, and where else? This is the increasing volume. Look, this is increasing volume, increasing prices. We're getting the same kind of behavior, not as much volume, but still we're getting increasing volume, increasing prices with the move up. See that? This is increasing volume, increasing prices, and that's healthy. That's what you want to see. Increasing volume, increasing prices. Okay, it just means that people who are taking profit are having their orders absorbed by new buyers or other buyers. All right, so at the moment it's looking quite healthy, and even though we're into resistance, I mean it's obviously a cause of concern. People shouldn't really be buying into resistance, but I do get I have like, so yesterday I was looking at the charts. I had some bullish ideas, but I wanted to go lower and it never came. Okay, so I ended up buying higher. It's not a big deal because that's life. Still making money, but it's just trying to get the entry and the timing right. And so I was looking for I had different ideas that I was looking for. I was kind of looking for that actually. And what happened was that I wrote it's still speculative. It was very speculative to trade the ABC, the C point. You really have to trade the D. Yeah, in these harmonics, you want to trade the end point. You don't, but that's where you can make a ton of money if you catch it right, and because there's a big move to your destination. So initially I had this idea, I updated it, and actually nothing worked. Yeah, so I kind of changed it to maybe an extended flat, and actually I'll have a look at these ideas, but the reality is that it was just too bullish. And that's what's happened last night. It was just too bullish. Yes, it was just too many buyers, not enough sellers, and it doesn't really matter how pretty I can draw a harmonic idea. If people are buying and not selling, then it's not going to happen, is it? So in effect, and so I'm looking at another harmonic right now as we talk, but let me just pull the one that I had up yesterday. Was it this one? Maybe it's that one. Correction, maybe it's that one. Yeah, I was kind of looking for it to come down and test that level. It could still happen. I don't think so, but and then the other thing that I kind of thinking to myself, is this the 1, 2, 3? Is this it? Is this the wave 5? Is that it? 1, 2, 3. Was it impulsive? It was impulsive, but it didn't feel impulsive. Okay. So that was the only thing that kind of, this could work, huh? This could work. Maybe another expansion. Just to push us into the point of control. Maybe that's what I'm thinking right now. It's quite difficult, this kind of price. I'm going to explain it as well. Okay, so obviously my corrective idea didn't work out, and what actually happened was that even though it would have been nice to come in to test this trend line, it just didn't play out the way I wanted. It's not a big deal. And actually I wrote that on my Twitter, so I don't know if people were paying attention. Probably not. But just in case you are, look, much more bullish than expected, not seeing weakness. Slerf was leading BTC. And so I posted that saying, well, whatever you think, if it's doing something else, then you just have to flow with what it's doing. You can't just presume that it's going to go down. So naturally, I did short a few times, and I was just my shorts were totally destroyed. And I didn't really want to long up in the highs, but I did anyway, and it went up. And that's the lesson, isn't it? Just don't resist the momentum of the market. Don't just go with the trend. It's just a lot easier to make money when you're going with the trend. Yeah, counter trending is really difficult. The biggest difficulty of counter trending is taking profit, because if you don't take your profit quick enough, you could end up with a bad trade. And if you take your profit too quickly, then you might miss a bigger move. And it's a game of chicken, isn't it, with the price? How much, how far do you let it run before you take profit? Do you take profit, or do you just scalp? Like, it's tricky, because potentially you could be looking at a big move to the downside. But what was happening yesterday was shorts were getting squeezed every single time. So you could short this swing failure here, nice, squeeze, then you're probably looking at again, it's with patterns, it's quite tricky, because you see bearish patterns. I'll show you one right now. Here, some kind of W, yeah, and you're thinking maybe you are, maybe not. You're thinking, okay, let's short that swing failure, nice, swing failure, nice, let's go down now. And then it just gets squeezed, so there's a lot of situations where you have this kind of price action, and you short, and you're at the right place, but you still get destroyed. And then there's a lot of other situations where you have other swing failures. There's a swing failure there, you could take that short, and look what happens. Higher highs, and then these shorts are getting destroyed every single time. Every single time I'm seeing shorts get destroyed. So you just got to be aware of that. If you keep on seeing shorts that getting destroyed, it means the shorts are too early, and the market hasn't turned yet. And in that context, it's just better to long the dips. And it's hard, because you're thinking to yourself, I always do, I'm thinking to myself, God, man, this is already up 15%. Why would I long here? I should wait for the dip. Okay. And even then, if you are in a long position, you can get caught underwater quite easily. Anytime you long, you could get yourself caught underwater. And then you're thinking, okay, oh my God, this is it. Now it's going down. Now we're crashing. Now we're going to the floor. And actually, it's just an opportunity to buy more at lower prices, because the price wants to go up. Okay. And so you might get longed, you might get stopped out. You might think it's going down. You might then look to short, and then you get stopped out because actually the price is still going up. And so in context of everything, it's really important to have a look at the higher time frame first. Yeah, always look at the highest time frames to see what the highest time frames are doing. Okay, and that will help, because otherwise you have no idea. We have no idea what's happening. So look at the higher time frame. Yeah, we have a really nice bullish weekly reversal candle, and we have a nice bullish buy up with no wick, so it's just a market buy. People just market bought that right up to where we are now. Haven't seen that in a while. 2 weekly green weekly candle. That was the last time that was into the highs. This is from the lows. Yeah, 2 really nice bullish. It could be like this, huh? Could be like these 2 candles here. Could we get that situation? Could this weekly candle end up here, and then we can kind of maybe work our way up? I don't know. Who knows? But again, these weekly candles are really powerful, and so you're not thinking this is going down, are you? You're not thinking this is going to go down. Now, you could end up with a wick, but actually this is a really bullish 2 weeks we've had. Even if we get a sell-off, you know, we've got plenty of space to still close higher for continuation. And, you know, we had a 3-day close yesterday. Look at that 3-day close. Massive expanding 3-day candle. Cleared all of the liquidity in this green 3-day candle here. And now we're starting to push these green candles here. Okay, so we're now we're into that area now. And the other thing to bear in mind, and this is quite interesting, because the reason why the price doesn't expand in a very impulsive way is mainly because there's no single prints. And I don't know if people realize how important single prints are. When you get single prints, you get really nice fast moves, because the price slips through that period, that gap that's formed, and there's no volume, and it just pushes through really easily. And so when you get single prints, the price can move quite fast, but it also can act as a support and resistance barrier. Yeah, so single prints can act as support and resistance. So yesterday, as the price dropped, I marked out some single prints, and then the price, look, you see how the price goes up all the way up to the single prints and finds a reaction. And even here, if you look at the first one, look, the price goes up into the single, fills it, then you get an immediate reaction first before you have a continuation. And what's interesting about these single prints is that they kind of flip as well. So these areas, once they are cleared, sometimes the price can come back to find support for continuation. But what's interesting about single prints is the price can move quite quickly. And so really that's, you see here is another example. You clear the single print, look how it finds support on the single prints. Yeah, so it's just and those single prints have been cleared, but they're still acting as support and resistance lines. Okay, so it's quite interesting to see that. And so it's good, it's nice to see single prints, because the price can kind of move fast. What's actually happening is the price isn't really moving that fast. And so what's going on is that you do get some market buys, some big market buys in the price action. You've got one big one there. You got some big market buying here, and which you creating gaps which aren't being filled. Okay, but the rest of the price action, there's a bit of market buying here as well, so that's quite interesting. There's a bit of market buying here as well, but so actually you see we've come back into a gap, and the gap is holding. But the rest of the price action, what it really is limit orders. So what's happening is that the price is coming down in search of liquidity. It's going up in search of liquidity, and it's finding support at these kind of order blocks, these kind of red candles, and it just comes all the way down to the last one, to the first one, finds support, and then it tries to go all the way to the next order block at the top here. You see, finds resistance, and then if there's enough buying, it can clear it, but it still needs to come back down to these order blocks, to these red order blocks, to find support. So what's actually happening is that people are placing orders on the lowest red candles in the move up. So let's just say, in context here, it would be here, wouldn't it? It would be somewhere here. Okay, trying to make a higher low. That's kind of what you want. You want to make a higher low here in these wicks. That could be it, but you could come here and still make a higher low here. And effectively what's happening is that people are putting their limit orders on these order blocks, and because we just keep on making higher lows, the price is coming back to tap and to fill at previous order blocks. You see here, you've got the lowest red candles here, and look what happened. The price came all the way back down, limit orders filled, couldn't make a lower low, and then people started market buying. Okay, and that pushes the price up. Okay, and effectively the price is just coming back to either SR flips or order blocks. Initially it's an SR flip, maybe like that was an SR flip, created an order block there, and then the price just came back down to the same order block before the price continued in the direction it was heading. You're getting that kind of price behavior down and up. So you see here the big selling, the price comes all the way up to that green candle here, finds resistance, lower high, and then you start get selling. And so it's very different price action. So it's quite frustrating. So anyone who's trading this can get really frustrated, just simply because it's not moving fast enough, quickly enough, and it's actually correcting all the way back to filled gaps. And so you know, it's not like you can't just plot the volume range and say I'm just going to buy here and here and here and here and here and hope for the best. The price is actually heading towards other areas and not always respecting the local volume areas, not always respecting those. So you see at the top of this local volume area, kind of didn't really respect it, and obviously here it looks like it has, but the golden pocket hasn't really respected it. So the price is doing something slightly different, and it's very different to impulsive price action that we've had in the past, where the whole market is market buying or the whole market is market selling. Right now what's happening is that it's quite frustrating because you're getting really slow ascent, and then every time it dips, all it's doing is it's coming back in search of liquidity to continue. Really frustrating price action. So you can be in a long and you can be right. You could be longing, and you might have higher targets, and then all of yourself you find yourself stopped out break even or underwater, and then you just close it because you think now it looks like it wants to go down, and actually all it's doing is it's just finding support to continue. And this is really frustrating because it means it makes it difficult to long, because there's no obvious entry, there's no like swing failure pattern. You're just making higher lows, and effectively and then also when you're making a higher high, the price pulls back immediately to form some kind of swing failure, and so you could get caught underwater for a period of time if you haven't taken profit, but actually it's still kind of going up. Yeah, so at every single point you see how the price comes down, comes into the kind of the lowest area of support, goes up, comes back down, comes back, cut down to the same area, goes up. It's just trying to come back down to areas of support in the structure that has been printed before the price finds a supply imbalance and it continues going up. Okay, and then obviously here you've got a bunch of market buying because it was a little bit of a breakout, and so you have a little bit of a market buying, which causes the price to go up a little bit faster. What's interesting about yesterday's candle, and I just want to look at it now, is that it had quite a high volume red sell TP. You see, it's quite high volume. I think that's quite bullish. Yeah, it's bullish because it means a lot of people took profit, but the price didn't really go down. It kind of held kind of the area. It's quite bullish. And also something else that's potentially quite bullish is you see how you've got this somewhere here there's a kind of V-shaped neckline, and you see how the price just came back into that area, found support, and it pushed up to close high. So it's quite bullish initial reaction of this V-shape, and I don't necessarily think we can't go up to still come back down to test the neck, because we haven't properly tested it. That's not a test, that's just people putting a lot of trying to buy because they think it's going up. It's not like a real test, where people are placing limit orders where you're going to get market exhaustion at that correct level, and then the price is going to find support for continuation. It's not the same thing. And so I'm still thinking about my V-shape ideas, and I'm also thinking about Lucky Apes trade plan. Okay, so I'm thinking about two things right now. I'm thinking about my my V-shape ideas, which I drew before, and obviously this one is not planned. This one didn't pan out, so let me delete that. You've got that pivot high. We're kind of pushing up. Maybe we hit the point of control. Okay, maybe we hit the point of control at about 67k. Yeah, and effectively that's the level, that's the line in the sand. So in the past I said 62k was really important, and hey presto, we've cleared it. Yeah, and so naturally if anyone was able to enter kind of somewhere around 62k, they're in. Obviously if you didn't need to lower down on the failed auction, 62k was critical. We passed it. We came back down to kind of find support in that area, and now the next area of interest is the point of control. So we are into the golden pocket now. There's two golden pockets in play. You've got the one from the all-time high, or the one from the just this retracement. So let me just pull the one from it. So the one from the all-time high, we're kind of into it now, but the one that's just this down move from this pivot to this here, we've cleared it. You see how we've cleared the golden pocket? Haven't back tested it yet, but we've kind of cleared it. Okay, so that's quite bullish, isn't it? And we still have to go up to test the point of control to see what happens next. Are we going to see a reaction of point of control? I'd be surprised if we don't. Okay, I'd be very surprised if we don't see a reaction. And it all depends on how bullish it is. Usually I would say it'd be nice to squeeze through it, but I don't see how we're going to squeeze through it unless we react and people start opening shorts, and then we push right back down to this golden pocket, which is kind of what I drew to kind of test that neckline again. And then if we can find support, we go up, and maybe then we can squeeze through the point of control. That's kind of my preferred price action at the moment. So we're almost there. We're not there yet. We're almost there. We're not there yet. So I wouldn't be kind of aggressively buying right now. But there is still money to be made on longs. But you just have to kind of be careful that you take your profit very nicely, very quickly, or just keep on skimming as it's green. As your profit is green, just keep on skimming so you don't get yourself into a bad trade as you approach the point of control. I think this is at the moment, this might, and I keep on saying V-shapes are rare, but they keep on happening. So maybe next time I see a potential V-shape, I'm not going to say it's rare. I'm going to say it's going to happen. Just buy. All right. So that's one thing that I'm looking at. That's where I'm at the moment still. Okay. And so I've just been trading that idea. And the other thing that I looked at was this one. This was Lucky Apes, kind of bearish harmonic. He's expecting some kind of rejection from the point of control, about 67k. And then he's expecting a big sell-off to fill all of these gaps, and then even further by the weekend, all the way down to 48k. Okay, sell. Could be kind of bloody and brutal, but that would complete this idea of his, and that would be by this weekend. I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell if it's gonna. I think it could happen. Anything can happen in crypto. I don't like this shape, to be honest with you. This one down to here, don't like it at all, and I can't see where else you would end in context. Maybe there's nothing else that would work. It would have to be here. Yeah. And so the other thing that, I don't like it really, to be honest with you, but I'm not discounting it. And so if this is going to play out, we want to see a reaction off the point of control. That's number one. A nice bearish reaction, which is at the top of this imaginary channel line that he's created, which is also some kind of neckline as well. If you look at this, there's some kind of neckline there. Okay, so it is quite a strong area for people to be looking to, at the very least, take profit. And if not, if you see a good reaction, you might even be looking to just start build some kind of short position. It's just, where's the invalidation? That's the key question. So you might be looking at some local lower time frame market structure to form your invalidation ideas for some kind of bearish reaction off the point of control. Does it go all the way down there? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't think so, but you never know. And if it did, that would be the long of the century. This one here. Yeah. If this did happen, that's what I'm saying. This is speculative. It's always is. But if you end up by Friday evening or Friday whatever with the price at 48k, long that motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. Long that bitch. Take it up. Yeah. We don't get shook up if you have a plan and you see it come to fruition exactly as predicted on time. Yeah. And so that's why you create plans, because if it happens, I don't think it will, but I mean, I said the V shape wouldn't happen. That would be extremely bearish. If that happened, that would be a V shape followed by rejection, a V shape rejection. It's like a V followed by V, really bearish. And that's the question. Because it becomes so terribly bearish, you're going to get a shit ton of people shorting the lows or all this descent, thinking, all right, this is it. This is going down to zero. Now, Bitcoin's going down to 7K now. Let's just short. I don't care if I'm shorting support. I'm at 49. I think it's going to 7. Let's just short. Fuck it. Short. Yeah. That's how people think. And actually, all that's happening is that they're filling big orders, big limit orders at this really important area. Golden pocket, trend line, harmonic, potentially harmonic on time, maybe in some kind of one-to-one extension as well of this kind of down move, one-to-one. And people will be thinking, oh, we're going down to 7K. Well, actually, it's the right place for people to be placing their long ones somewhere here. And in fact, it'd be quite easy to trade, actually. So just looking at what I'm preempting, you've got these lows here. So that's your swing failure levels or failed auction levels. Yeah. And I'm going to put an alert there. It's good to have alerts. Right. It might not be an SFP. It could just be another failed auction. And then potentially it would be nice if the price did come down, faked out, came back above the golden pocket. That would be your first kind of entry, reclaiming the golden pocket. And then the next sign of strength would be to get back above that pivot low. That would be that would be a much safer entry, but you could potentially scale into that. And if you have a freaking fast descent, then why not a freaking fast ascent? Why not that? Why not just pump it all the way to Kingdom Come? That's what I would be expecting if this happened by Friday. I'd be expecting a weekend pump, or maybe a weekend consolidation and then the next week pump. And I think a lot of people will be wrecked. And then the few people who saw this coming would not. Okay? I don't think it's going to happen, honestly. I don't think it's going to, but who knows? So it's good to have it prepared just in case it does. And then obviously I'm just going to hide it now, not think about it. Chuck it into this lucky bullish crap and hide it, and it's not a big deal. And then the other thing I was looking at, what else was I looking at? Tuesday. No. Look, let me zoom in a little bit to my lower time frame. What was I looking at? Tuesday. Okay. So yeah, I was looking at some kind of whatever, and it just didn't play out. All right. So it was just too bullish. In fact, I was looking to long down here, and it didn't work out. Right. So delete that. Not a big deal. Okay. Potentially that's still in play. And these are all irrelevant now. And you got higher time levels. Look at that, that daily level flipped. So you have a nice flip there. Once, twice. Buy up. Okay. And what else have we got here? Where's our single prints? Looking up there. And then Mpox. that came perfectly into the naked weekly point of control. And again, and look, now we're finding support on the naked weekly point of control, SR flip. See that? That's what's happening right now. So that's quite stronger. And then you have a really easy invalidation now because you've put in a little bit of a pivot there. It's above a flipped level. You don't expect that. If that happens, obviously we're going to the daily, but also it means that we've lost the level, we've lost the flip. And so you could obviously bounce, but then you could find resistance and you can continue down. So just be aware of it. This is our line in the sand at the moment. It's about 65k. We've had a nice reaction and we're kind of having a little bit of a consolidation up above that level. And maybe that's what happens today. I don't necessarily think that we're going to go up. I don't know. I don't think we're going to go down either. And I don't know. I just don't think it. But and if we do, then we do go down, then you could get the same buy up. It's possible. I just, in this context, I just don't want to close underneath this pivot. Okay. I don't want to close underneath there. It would start to look really bearish if you start closing underneath pivots and reclaim levels. And at the moment, it's just probably just consolidating. If I zoom in on a local time frame, at the moment, we're getting a little bit of a consolidation range here, just there. See, we're above the local point of control at the moment. And then you've got like you've got higher time frame ranges. Let me just do this kind of up move volume range, maybe from this pivot here, and see what's going on. Yeah, see the volume's all in the lows. The value area high here is the previous monthly level. I don't know if we're going to, I don't think we're going to come back down to 60k because we still have 62k, which is in the way. And then obviously we've got these daily levels, which have all been flipped. Okay. So I'm not thinking lower prices, 58, whatever. And it's quite interesting because on my YouTube, someone posted a comment. I'm going to answer it now. I don't know if he's watching. I'm not going to spend much time on it. What does he write? Oh, look here. Save America. I'm down bad. Shorted at 58k. You think it goes back? Fuck. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's really the truth. Who knows? I have no idea. And this guy, okay, he wants me to look at something else. That's fine. So naturally, people like 58k. Would you short at 58k? Is that a good short? 58k? Well, let's have a look at it. Why did he short 58k? Literally, I have no idea actually. There's no levels there. Where's the liquidity? Let me pull in all of my shit. All my shit in box. There's like a naked point of control. Maybe the point of control. Maybe he shorted the point of control, which is slightly lower at 57,829. And then let me just bring my high time levels. That's the liquidity. And let's have a look at the fibs. Nope, not that one. That one. I don't know. I don't really know why he shorted at 58k. I can't tell you why. If he shorted here, that would have been a swing failure. 58k. No, it doesn't make sense because he would have shorted here. So you don't short the point of control as you're above it. Unless you're so confident that it's going to go down that you just want to short. 58k in this context is probably the point of control. I think there were opportunities to short like there or anywhere here at the beginning of this drop, but as the price now starts to push higher and then push higher, you're not really thinking about shorting yet, are you? Failed auction here. Push higher. Back test. Why would you, I don't know why you would short 58k. Now, if you shorted at 60k, that makes sense because that's a psychological level. If you shorted at somewhere higher in this kind of range, whatever, maybe that would have made sense, and you still would have got wrecked. But I just don't know why you shorted at 58k. I'm sorry to you'd have to tell me why. Right. Let's have a look at the local. So I think you could still buy. I just think in this local range, you're probably looking to just intraday scalp, to be honest with you. I don't know if people should be looking for a bullish, expansive continuation today. If anything, it's more likely, if there's going to be some kind of expansive move, it's more likely to be down, not up. Yeah. But again, what's happening is the price is just coming back down, finding support. There's not enough selling, and the price just keeps on going up. Yeah. And so as long as you keep on doing that, there's no reason to short. And also, it's also good to look at the market structure. Like here on the 5-minute time frame, we've just we're nowhere near to changing market structure. This is the pivot low, that's the pivot high. You have a really large range. This price action is nothing. Doesn't mean anything because this is the pivot low here, down here. If you take that out, then maybe you have a chance of changing market structure. Or if right now the price is to go and put in another high, then this would be your pivot low for a chance to change market structure. So at the moment, we're so far away from changing market structure that I'm not thinking bearish until that happens. Yeah. So, and then the other thing is we are like, I can see it right before me right now. There's a bullish harmonic here in play right now. I think something like that, isn't it? It's a bit of a crab. Is that a crab or a shark? I always get them confused. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. That's not a crab, so it must be a shark. And it's not a shark either, so it must be a crab. No, these are all wrong. Pull it across onto the screen so we can all have a look at it together. X. Oh, it's a Gartley, isn't it? Is it a Gartley? Yeah, it's a Gartley. This one here. See that? X to the A, to the B to the C. C is lower, and then all the way down to the D. It's quite a deep D. So you have a bullish Gartley with a bullish reaction. It's already come up to 50%, so it's already hit its target. But actually, right now, it's above the point of control of this local range, so it's quite bullish. Back above the golden pocket, the 618 here of the golden pocket here, in this kind of higher, wider, this larger golden pocket range that I have here. This one, what is that red line? No, that's nothing. What's this one? I think. What's that one? I think. Okay. These harmonics can be quite, it could continue quite a lot, quite far. Let me just have a look at the timing. I just want to have a look at the timing here. Kind of peaks almost at the 618 and the 1.618. It kind of pivoted there, so it is kind of on time. The harmonic, it looks nice. Yeah, it's a kind of 1.618. So it's kind of tracing. It's kind of following the 1.618 at the moment. Hold on, I've got a phone call. Sorry about that. I think it's we're going to be ranging today. Honestly, I think it'll be good to just take profit as soon as you can. But I don't know. Who knows? Anything could happen. So yeah, whatever. So there's a kind of little bit of harmonic there that they happen a lot. These harmonics. So let me just hide all of that now. This is going to really hurt people, huh? This is what I was talking to David earlier about. You see how the price is moving up? It's not easy to buy because you're not getting the crazy volume impulsiveness that hopefully is going to happen later in the bull market, and that's going to be really easy to buy because you'll see a huge amounts of volume coming in. You're going to be looking at the order flow, and you're going to see crazy amounts of market buying. Let me show you. So this is the XO charts. We're not seeing the crazy OI going up like we want to see in some kind of crazy bull market. So it's kind of flat, isn't it? It's not really going up, even though the price is going up. It's not, look at it. Is it going up? I don't know. It's kind of going up gently. And you are seeing liquidations. It's quite liquidations, and the price still goes up. What I want to see, I think in the future, if we do get into like price discovery, you start seeing like big jumps in OI, kind of like this one here. So I kind of talked about this. This guy here who bought a market. Look at that. He came in at 59k. He's laughing, huh? He's laughing. And how much did he come in? So they are kind of, when you start seeing that, it does give you a little bit of confidence to buy. Look, increase in 17 million OI. And like a big leverage long. Bam. And naturally what that person will probably do is he'll start to take profit as you start hitting resistance levels, yeah, or liquidation bubbles. I'm not really seeing anything else at the moment. And it's quite interesting because I'm not really seeing crazy divergences on the CBD either. We did see a lot of divergences as we entered this range, as we hit the all-time high the first time back in whenever it was, February, January, March, wherever it was. But now I'm not really seeing it. I'm not really seeing, and they're really good to see because they're clues that you've got bigger players, whales, who are absorbing the price. I'm not really seeing it. Like, look here, you see them make a lower low, lower low, lower low, low. It's just kind of following. And then even in the highs, I'm not seeing bearish divergences either. Lower high, lower high. It's kind of following. And so right now, looking at it, again, I'm not seeing any kind of divergences really on the CBD, which is quite unusual. Yeah. So I got the feeling that people are still not sure because if people were sure that it was going up, they'd be buying, and they'd be trying to buy large quantities on limit orders just because of the market fees. They just don't want to pay the market fees. But I'm not seeing that yet. So I am quite interested to see when that begins, when you start seeing massive absorption. I'm not seeing it, right? And then what I am seeing is on the MACD and the CCI, right? So let me have a look. Ooh, we're not forming some good candles. So we had a good reaction there, but trying to hold support. So what I am seeing is bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergences here. Okay, so just I'll give you an example here. You see on a CCI, you've put in a lower low here, you've put in a higher high here. That's hidden bullish divergence on the CCI. You're not getting it at the highs, you're getting at the lows. Okay, here at the highs you had a little bit of a hidden bearish divergence, and you see kind of the price did go down and then it went up. But otherwise, I'm seeing bullish divergences on the CCI. And then when you look at the MACD, it's the same thing really. Look at the MACD on the 15-minute time frame. You're putting in a lower low here, and you're putting in a higher low. That's hidden bullish divergence. As long as we don't take out that pivot, that just tells me that there is absorption. The price is being absorbed. I just don't see it on the XO chart. I don't see it on the order flow. I just see it here. Okay, so it's just an observation. That's all it is. Otherwise, this could be really painful for a lot of people. You could, and naturally, why do I say that? Because I'm looking at the previous price action here. You see how as the price was descending here, look how many days it took to come down in this little area that we were at. It took like 1, 2, 3 days, maybe 4, just to get through this area. Yeah. And so naturally on the way up, you could get like green, like this, red. You could get like really lots of wicks, really hard to trade without just taking profit every 2 seconds. You could end up getting like green. If we can get up there, green, you know, you could just get like lots of greens and then smaller greens just trying to get up. It'd be very difficult to buy and hold, because at any point in time, because you're buying the highs, at any point in time, people are thinking to themselves, oh my God, this could crash. So I don't necessarily expect any impulsive move now as we cross this area. Maybe the same thing, actually, maybe something similar, just up day by day, small up. That's what I'm thinking. And then if you do get like a red or candle here or there, that would be quite good to see a red followed by a green, because at the moment, this is just all green. And we have a CMA gap as well. And so that's something else you need to be aware of. So I didn't talk about it before, but there is a big gap. And so let me pull the CME charts here. That's the futures. And so naturally you see the futures market, the CME market isn't open at the weekend. It closes on Friday, opens back on Sunday evening. And what happens is that wherever the price opens from where it closes on the Friday, you end up with black spaces, gaps. Yeah, so we had a massive gap from Friday through to end of Sunday, beginning of Monday. Yeah, and we haven't, usually what happens is the price will come back to fill the gap or to test it. We haven't had that. So naturally yesterday, when I was thinking of some kind of down then up, actually what I was really thinking of is, wouldn't it be nice yesterday, this is what I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if we, I was thinking this actually, something like this. I was thinking something like this, where we just come back down to test the gap. Okay, shake everyone out, but all we're doing is just coming back to test the gap. I wasn't thinking we fill the gap. I was thinking we just come back to test the gap. And naturally that screws people, because they want to fill it. So, but actually all you're doing is you're just getting a test and then you're getting a buy. Are we going to see that now? It could still happen, huh? So don't think that just because it hasn't happened, it can't still happen. I wouldn't mind hitting the point of control though. So it still works. It doesn't really matter where this is. It just changes the timings a little bit. And it's just, and actually the trade would be here, wouldn't it? It'd be down here to clear the liquidity, test the gap. That's the trade. Yeah. Whenever that happens in the future, that would be the trade. And it doesn't kind of correlate well with Lucky Ape's idea, because he actually wants it to go all the way down. And so the only way that can happen in a quick manner is if you do end up going down, maybe go up. You end up going up to go down somehow, I don't know. But then when you fill the gap fills quite fast. You get a reaction from the bottom, but I'm still thinking it'll be hard to go down quickly because of the support that's underneath us. So the gap is going to act as support. It's not just going to, you're not just going to, I mean, anything's possible, but you'd expect it to act as support until it's flipped. So just looking at that now, what level is that now? That's about 68. Let me just mark it off and I'll pull it over to the other chart. So we kind of opened here. Where is it? Open. What's the open? 6985. Right. I'll put it back into my other chart. Okay. There's someone there. Go CME gap. Does the point of control get front run and we just drop? I'm going to take precautions because anything is possible in crypto. You've got to be prepared for it. Oh my god, my Slerf is up. Slerf is pumping. Huh? So I'm going to have a look at Slerf too because my Bitcoin trade is break even, but my Slerf is pumping. It's the only one that's pumping, and EMA. I'm going to take some profit on some of these now. It's good to take profit. And so something that I've learned is when it's green, just keep on taking profit. Just keep on skimming. And eventually what will happen is your account will just keep on going up. Yeah. It's the same as like when you take losses. Yeah, over a period of time when you keep on taking losses, realizing losses, you go before you know it, your account is shit. And if you reverse that idea, every time it's green, you just take a little bit of green profit, just capture a little bit of that profit every single time. Then instead of capturing losses, you're capturing gains. Yeah, so you can't be greedy if you take profit. This is quite interesting. I'm interested in this. I don't know. I would have liked to hit the point of control. I don't think, I still think we should hit the point of control. And then this would change, wouldn't it? And then as it changes, it loses form. Yeah. So harmonics have to be on time. And at the moment, this is potentially okay. I was actually, honestly, I was thinking this initially. And it didn't happen. And so now I'm thinking, could that work? Yeah, it could, potentially it could work. Anyway, it's an idea. Who knows? Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not there yet. I just have it just in case we do get something crazy where we're coming down into the CME gap. Again, that would be a good place to long. It just has to be kind of by today. I wouldn't like that doesn't work. You know, the further you go out, that doesn't work. It kind of has to be balanced, and so I'm just keeping an eye on that. I'm actually gonna, in a Bitcoin position, I'm gonna actually scale it back a little bit because it's pulling back, and I don't like the price action at the moment. So sorry, I'm just managing a trade, not fond of this. I like the reaction, but again, it's the same idea. I mean, look, we've got this, haven't we? What is it? Did I delete it? It's okay. It's that one, isn't it? It's okay. But we're not getting good continuation, so I'm not fond of that. Capturing a little bit more profit at the moment, actually, just in case you're wondering what is he doing. All right, so it's like, it's okay. It's just a little bit limp. I think what I'm worried about is VWAP. See that? And it actually hasn't touched yet, so I wouldn't mind if it goes up and hits it into the golden pocket there. So it's okay still, but actually what you really want is, as long as the price is underneath the VWAP, I'm not thinking up, I'm thinking corrective down. If we do get above the VWAP, then yeah, let's buy. Yeah. So the VWAP at the moment is a line in the sand, especially since we've lost it. So naturally, if you're thinking of buying, let's try and reclaim that VWAP, and then you're going to start seeing a little bit more volume come in. I am going to scale back on my BTC position, to be honest with you, because I'm not crazy confident. When you're not confident, you have to scale back a little bit and manage it. And the thing about doing it, preempting it, is you can do it with a limit order and not with a market order, and you can avoid the fees. So I just cut back my position by half on BTC, just because I'm not sure, and actually I might be looking to scale that back. It's not in a bad place to buy, but I'm conscious. I'm very conscious of this. Yeah, I'm conscious of that, and so naturally here that would be your invalidation, wouldn't it? This pivot here, but it's quite a distance. It's still quite a distance, and I don't like big distances for invalidations because it's just wasting money, isn't it? When you can see, if you start to see a little bit of weakness, then it's better to just play it safe. Let's play it safe. Close out a lot of my positions now. Actually, I'm just going to close them out a bit and just be patient. I think it's a better strategy to close and be patient and wait for strength, and the reason why is because I know we're in the highs. Yeah, so I'm playing it really safe. Have a look at Slerf one at it. Look at that. Slerf is above the VWAP, but it's not really respecting the VWAP either, and we haven't actually taken out that high. Get a little bit more. I can take more profit on Slerf actually. Yes. I'll take a little bit of profit on all my trades while I wait to see what happens to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is clearly still in charge. Yeah, you're getting a little bit of a pullback now on all the markets. So I'm going to kind of scale back a little bit just to kind of play it safe. I think it's safety first, just in case. Yeah. Take a little bit of, you're making gains, you're making losses, but you just want to make sure that you're closing more green than red. see, got very small BTC position open now. I don't like this. I'm very cautious. I'm cautious because we're in the highs, yeah, and we're underneath the VWAP, and so it doesn't, for me, it doesn't make any difference. That extra distance in gain, it's only 0.5%. I'd rather us just flip it, and if you do flip it, who cares about that 0.5%? Because now you're buying support, backtesting the VWAP to go up, rather than hoping that we're going to go up. Because the reality is, in this context, even though that's a bullish harmonic which has had a nice bullish reaction up to the 50% mark, that pivot here is holding as support, as resistance. Yeah, you've got to be careful of that. And because I can see that that's happening, you know, you've got to take your profit. You've got to be careful. All right, so protect your capital, number one rule, and never fade from protecting your capital. Even though you could, like, if this now goes up to 100k, you know, you're out of position, I'm out of position, right? But that's why I have a plan. My plan is to reclaim the VWAP and then long. Okay, so even though I was in a speculative long here and this whole range, I'm now thinking to myself, well, until we can get back above there, actually maybe we're going to have a corrective, we're going to go down a little bit further. I don't know. Okay, I can't tell. Okay, so you just have to be careful. Just let me just the volume profile here. Okay, so look, we see that we've also lost the value area low of this local range, and the point of control is in the highs. It's looking quite toppy, toppish. So you see BTC's coming up again. So you don't close out 100% because, you know, Bitcoin could, you can't preempt Bitcoin. It just does what it wants. All right, that's Bitcoin. I'm still inclined to think that we're ranging today, but I am cautious. Okay, I'm very cautious that we attack the lows. So I'm just being very careful about that, and that's my strategy for today. I'm also concerned about some other things. I'll show you what I'm concerned about. Just looking at the candles, I'm concerned about the daily wick. If we start losing the daily open, that wick could fill very easily. You could end up with a red candle filling that wick. Yeah. Now, it doesn't mean there's not going to be a buy up. You might get down to about halfway and you could get another buy up and end up with a doji. But still, I'm very cautious that we could go down just to test. Yeah. And then when you look at these other candles, you have a nice 12-hour buy up, and immediately we're getting a little bit of a rejection, okay, from higher prices. You see we're back underneath this 12-hour high. I'm very cautious about it when I see stuff like that. And so naturally, I'll feel a lot safer if we can actually close higher, just like I was saying, and get back above the VWAP. Very cautious. Again, look at this 4-hour candle. We had a bit of a bearish reversal on the 4-hour candle, closed lower, and now look, we've gone down. We're struggling to get back into the 4-hour close, gone up halfway, and then we just had a little bit of a rejection. So it does look like it could potentially go down lower, and so that's why I'm very cautious, because I know where we are. We're in the highs and we're pushing into resistance, which is the golden pocket. Okay, doesn't mean I'm out of position. It just means that I'm not fully positioned, and if I see a little bit of strength in here, get back above the VWAP, I'm not looking to short, because it's not the right place to short either. You just got to be aware of that. Yeah, the point of control is the right place to short, and it's so close. I would wait for the point of control to offer a reaction. Yeah, and I don't think I would look right now, because I've shorted and it hasn't worked. I'm not just looking to willy-nilly short here, but at the same time, I'm cautious with the longs because it's in the highs. So naturally, you looking to take profit ASAP. It's not terrible. Look, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but again, it's underneath the VWAP. Got to be careful. Dawood Ben, A lot of short in ratio, we stare up level by level. It's vicious. I agree. That's what I was saying. I think it's going to be really tough for people to long and to short. Shorts are going to get destroyed. Longs are going to get destroyed. Someone's about to call me now. So you see, I'm a bit cautious right now. David's saying the same thing. Don't know if he's watching my stream. Hold on, I got a phone call. Give me a second. Yeah, it's just you gotta be. It's a lot easier when it just impulses, and when it's step by step, level to level. It's hard, especially because we're in the highs of this expansions. Do you long? No, but you may have no choice because we might step up all the way up to the all-time high. Yeah, and then people are going to be killing themselves because if we do follow this path like that now. Anyway, so that's why it's good to just quickly take profit and just play it safe. Yeah, and you can't be greedy. And the problem here is you can't like take a crazy long. I can't like take a crazy long here because I'm using high leverage, and I can't do it because sure it could go up, but it's not going to impulse up. But one thing is for sure, all it takes is one massive market take profit, and you're fucked. And then where do you put your stops? Well, you could put them at any one of these pivots, but they're almost too close. This one's too far. That would be the best, and so it's quite a wide range, and so therefore you just have to position much smaller. Yeah, that's the problem. Short point and short, yeah. So it goes back to David Dawood, rather. Ben is saying he wants a short point control. Yeah, it goes back to that trade plan from Lucky Ape, wasn't it? Point of control, 67, nice reaction, and then if we can, I don't mind if I hit the point of control and sell off because at least then we can short without worrying about getting stopped per se. And in the CME gap, maybe, and that's the other thing I was thinking, and so I like to look at candles, obviously. I'm just thinking to myself, imagine if today's candle ends up red and we end up at the CME gap here. It would look really bearish, but actually that would be a nice buy, especially if you can hold support somewhere there within that wick. So we don't want to lose the low of the wick. I'm thinking that would really be the opportunity, and so I'm kind of waiting for that rather than just kind of longing now and hoping for the best. And even though, look, 65k right now, the point in control is 67, So I'd rather flip the point of control for a night get back into this higher range. That would be an easier long, much easier long. Get back into that higher range, flip the point of control into support, and then that would be a really easy long. Okay, but this right now is not very easy because we are squeezing, pushing into resistance. And so I'd rather we come back one more time, test this neckline, find reaction of this neckline again, CME gap, bounce off the CME gap, and then that would be a really easy long. Okay, because at least you're longing on support rather than trying to push the price up into the point of control. So I honestly think it's terrible to long right now, even though I'm in longs. But as you can see right before your eyes, I'm scaling back like there's no tomorrow. You can see that, right? I've literally scaled back all of my positions. Yep. Could I short? Yeah, sure, I could short, but where's my invalidation? I could just put invalidation there, but again, I couldn't take a good position because it's very possible that that happens. I'd rather short a swing failure like that of that local range if that happens, than to just try and short here because the price could easily go up. And so rather than short here, I'd rather short weakness, and weakness in this context, let me just, I mean, we're already weak because we're underneath the VWAP. Yes, there's a little bit of weakness already. So naturally shorting the VWAP is perfectly acceptable. Although it was front run here, but shorting the VWAP is acceptable. And so if we do get a sell-off, the VWAP kind of start coming down, then maybe a good short opportunity will be the VWAP. Okay, if it lines up with some kind of confluence as well, maybe a lost neckline. Yeah, that would be a lot better, a lot safer than to just short now hoping that it goes down. Better to short a pullback into a back test of a key area like the VWAP and a neckline. Yeah, if it was to happen now, you don't jump in and hope for the best. And also you have to be aware, and this is something else you have to be very aware of. Okay, and it's just like what I was saying before, the price is making higher lows. Yeah, and so you've got higher lows here, you've got higher lows here. That could be a higher low, but we have to put in a higher high. So while we haven't put in a higher high, this price could come all the way down here and nicely put in a higher low here. You know, it could totally do that. Totally do that. And so this is going to be your fair, I think in my mind, this is going to be what I want to see what happens. If we do find support here, if it looks like we get a reaction here with a higher low, then you'll have a really easy invalidation because it will be just that pivot that's put in. And obviously a swing failure too, you know, like it doesn't really matter, higher low, swing. I think a higher low is more bullish because it means the price can now go up and make a higher high. If you put in a lower low here, then you'll be looking for a lower high. That's kind of what you'll be looking for. So you just got to be aware of the context of what's happening and what needs to happen afterwards once it happens. Right. So Dawood Ben saying that that's totally that what will happen. 64160 strong. Yeah, so let's see what happens. All right, so that's Bitcoin, and I hope that helps. So it gives you a little bit of kind of context of where we're at. We're coming into resistance. It may just step up and destroy everyone, and naturally the best strategy is take profit as soon as you hit green. Yeah, so start skimming profit as soon as your positions are in green. Yeah, don't be greedy about that. Otherwise yeah, you could lose your money. All right. Let me have a look at some other things now. I've kind of looked at that. Scalping, yeah, I think so. It's take profit. Just always take profit. Market dominance, it doesn't. So this is interesting. Bitcoin's going down, market dominance is going down. That means ETH BTC is going up. Okay. What's that saying on ETH? See, ETH is actually quite resilient. So that kind of tells you that altcoins should be quite resilient. They should be, because Bitcoin dominance is going down with Bitcoin. So the spotlight is actually on ETH. Yeah. But obviously, even though ETH is still going down with Bitcoin, but because ETH BTC seems to be going up and BTC dominance seems to be going down, it just means that ETH will hold its price. It won't drop as much. Oh, what was this? Oh, that kind of failed, huh? Amazing. Look at that higher low. I haven't taken out that pivot yet, but it's looking quite bullish. I was thinking it would go lower and it didn't. So that's quite bullish, huh? Bullish Gartley, but it didn't actually take out the low. So that's really bullish. It's not actually a Gartley. That would have been a Gartley. But look at that. Fucking hell. I'm not really gonna look at ETH. What else is there? Okay, so Slerf is looking really strong despite this. It's looking really strong. I'm also looking at a head and shoulders pattern too, so just bear that in mind. Let me just go to the overview of Slerf. So the one thing that I'm not seeing on Slerf is volume. Okay, so that's the only thing that worries me about Slerf. I'm not seeing an increase in volume. I'm seeing a little bit of an increase here. So in context, yes, but overall, no. All right. So let me just hide this. And look, you see here, you're having a little bit of an increase in volume of the increase in prices. That's nice to see. But the reality is, if you look at the overall range of volume, it's pretty abysmal volume here, isn't it? It's pretty minuscule. It's rubbish. I think most of the volume has been rubbish ever since here and here. Most of the volume has been pretty poor. No idea why. And naturally, I think from these lows, I would have liked to have seen more volume, significantly more volume. Like, we've got more volume going up here than the lows, which is where you want to see the volume. Yeah, you don't really want to see the volume in the highs. You want to see it in the lows, because you want to see the price being absorbed and being held. That being said, look at what's happening with Slerf. It's a very bullish development. So there's been a lot of bullish developments with Slerf. First and foremost, I update the volume profile of the overall range, and if I pull up my folder here, my volume profile folder, wherever it is, lost it, there it is. You can see here, look, the value area low. Look, it's kind of even moved down a little bit there. Point of control is same place, and value area high is down a bit. Look at that. So what's actually happened is that the price, there's another high volume node there, so let me just mark that off. Oh, I've got it. The price has actually found itself back into the value area. Yeah. So we've had quite a lot of bullish developments here with Slerf. We've been able to get above this pivot low. Now we've been able to get above this pivot low. And now we've been able to get back into the value area low. See that? Back into the value area low. So we've got back into the value area low, and look at this. We got a nice little 12-hour back test. A little back test there on the value area low. A little bullish reaction off the value area low. So for all intents purposes, we're back in the range. And we have a really easy invalidation now. Yeah. The invalidation here is this pivot here, because that was a swing failure. It was quite a high volume swing failure, and it was at the value area low, which is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see respect, a reaction, perfect reaction off the value area low. Nice buy up, took out the high. So you went from a low to a high. It's quite bullish. And then this is just obviously a little bit of a pullback because of Bitcoin, take profit, whatever. And you can see at the moment, this is actually quite bullish because we're above the VWAP. But in any case, this is what I wanted to see. Now, I do see a head and shoulders pattern here as well. So I've just got to be aware of that. We've put in a higher right shoulder. So it's not Have we? Maybe we haven't. Let me just have a look. Potentially we haven't actually. Let me have a look. No, we haven't. So we're just equal height. So actually this is potential, and this is, again, every pattern can fail, and no patterns aren't indicative of what happens in the future, because they can always do something else. Patterns can always form to create bigger patterns or wider patterns, but there is a pattern forming here. It's a head and shoulders pattern. Yeah. And so we have a very clear neckline, which is the buy bit value area low here. Okay, that's holding now. But if you do break that neckline, then guess what? We're going way down. We're gonna lose this. Yeah. And so naturally, I'm gonna remain bullish as long as we hold the value area low. And as long as we hold this range, I'm going to remain bullish. Okay, I'm not going to be bearish because we're back into the range. Yeah, so I'll be looking for buying opportunities here, 100%, and I will take profit because I know that because of the context of where Bitcoin is, I will take profit. But this is your range, your local range. You've got the price range, which is basically from here to the top. That's your price range. You've got your volume range. And we could be range bound here for a while. Yeah, so we could just do this for the rest of the day. It's possible. Just sit here. I don't necessarily think this would be a bad thing, just to kind of just sit here back into the value area, find acceptance on a higher time frame candle. I think that's perfectly acceptable, isn't it? If we can find a little bit of acceptance. So we've got a close, we've got a 1 day close here, maybe another day close here, and actually I wouldn't mind. And so usually when it comes to testing levels, I don't mind red candles that close above the level. So even though we have a little bit of a back test there, that's fine. I don't mind if we have a red candle that just closes there. It just means that the bears were in control, but they were only able to close it on support. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind to see that. If I saw that, I would have a lot more confidence in buying the value area low if I saw a red candle on a higher time frame. And I'm not seeing, where's the closest red candle? So we got red candles, but they haven't actually closed on, this is the closest one, this one here. There's a little bit of a front run. I like those red candles that close on top of support levels, because it means the selling has, look at that, the selling has failed to go past the support. Obviously that one's nice too. It's like a nice buy up. And then you've got decreasing volume, so it's quite bearish. Decreasing volume, increasing prices. So what I think possibly we could be ranging here. And if you do suddenly see on Slerf, and so the scenario here, I'm not telling you people what's going to happen. I'm not going to be so predictive like I used to be. If you do get a head and shoulders, what could actually happen here in this context, I'd like to see that, huh? That would be really amazing behavior, huh? Just to come and put a higher low here into this kind of last market buy up before the price went up, fake out right back into the value area, and then off we go, pump it. And obviously that's a speculative entry. That would be your real entry, losing the value area and getting right back in, easy long, back into the range, easy long. That would be a really easy long. Okay. And at the moment it's not easy long, it's just kind of range bound behavior, sell the highs, buy the lows, etc. If you lose it, you wouldn't short, you just wait. If you get a reaction like that, you could potentially long with an invalidation for a higher low, and then you could add to it with strength if you reclaim that to go up. That's kind of what I wouldn't mind seeing. Okay, if that happens, I'll be really happy because it'll be easy to trade. And otherwise we just range here and hopefully we go up, you know. So that's the other thing that I'm thinking. And then if you're thinking, if I wanted to short here, there's only really two ways to short here. One would be a swing failure of the high, but you have to take profit quite quickly because we're on top of support. So it basically be a scalp. But the real short, the real kind of big short here would be a head and shoulders pattern, back test of the neckline for, and I don't know how far this would go. It's possible it could follow the same idea as I said, put in a higher low here, but actually you're just finding resistance on the neckline instead of reclaiming it, and then that's kind of what you'd be looking for. Okay, if for some reason now we're about to reverse, that's the kind of price action I'll be looking for. All right, so we'll have to see what happens, and then anything is possible. I think it's more likely to hold support and go up, but I would love to see a fake out. I'd love to see that because it'll be easy to long, right? So that's why. Other than that, I think it's bullish. Like, that's why I'm not looking to short, because you've reclaimed the range low, you've reclaimed the value area, you've reclaimed this last pivot here, and we're trying to test and back test the value area low as support. If you back test the value area low as support, you're basically buying the low of the volume range, basically. And on the higher time frame, if we hold support on the back test of the value area low, I'll be looking for that to go all the way up to the point of control on the higher time frame. That would be the right place to buy, to take it all the way up to the range point of control, and maybe even to the value area high. Okay, now it's obviously not going to go up in a straight line, all right, because you have lots of levels in between, but that would be a good place for a swing entry if you're not already positioned. So I like to just like take profit and move on to the next trade. I'm not really fussed about holding for higher time frame swings, but you know, if people are in a position now, they could be in a higher time frame swing, and just hold out to see what happens. If you are in a position now, then obviously as we're reclaiming levels into support, you don't want to lose them. And so that's why I would love for this to come down and go back up, because it would basically stop out everyone who's it will stop out the early longs, because they'll get bearish and they'll close the positions, but actually it's just a kind of a little bit of a liquidity grab before continuation, right? And that's basically Slerf. I mean, there's really nothing really much to say. We're still following that bullish harmonic that I had, wherever it is. Sorry, no, not that one. So we're still following that, and let me just clean it up a little bit. Let me get rid of these times. What's that fib tracement? Oh, that was the extension. That's how I got these targets here. Let me just do a fib extension here. 50% full fib blog, CC log, nope. Full fib blog, yes. So I think the target is 28 cents. I think that's the target for this harmonic. Oops. Somehow to get up there, right? However long it takes. And that will be harmonic complete up to 50%. And then we have to see what happens. If I put my volume levels back in, so it's basically a swing failure of that high, and it's like a neckline. There's a little bit of a neckline there coming back up to take the liquidity from the high, test that neckline. Maybe then we're gonna, it depends on how impulsive it is. Actually, if you just keep on going up in a ladder, then it could be something completely different. I don't know. All right, but I'm still thinking 50%, so about 28 cents on this move. And then we have to see what happens. And actually what you could end up with, let's say we do go up, reject there, you could end up with some kind of head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders pattern underneath that neckline. And if that was to happen, then potentially you're looking at an explosive move after you break out. Right. But let's just see. It's all speculative right now, so we just have to see what happens with Slerf. it's a good place to start buying, but obviously I'm just looking for to see what happens with Bitcoin. Yeah, so I'm just keeping an eye on Bitcoin right now. Usually I say Slerf is the last early yesterday morning it wasn't, and then towards the evening it was leading Bitcoin. And it helps because if you see Slerf leading Bitcoin, like right now it looks like Slerf is it has been a little bit stronger than, well, I don't know. Look, it's going sideways here. Bitcoin is kind of going up. So actually not really. See here now, Bitcoin is going down. Slerf is kind of, so it kind of, they take turns. It's hard to see. You see here, Bitcoin is going down. Here, Slerf isn't really going down. So in this context, actually, it was leading Bitcoin. And now look, Bitcoin is kind of pulling back. Slerf is kind of holding. So I'm kind of getting the vibes that maybe Bitcoin is still holding. Okay. But who knows? Like, look, anything can happen. I don't really like these candles forming on the 15-minute time frame, because we're getting lower closes now. So I'd like to see that stop. And you see actually in the last 45 minutes, Bitcoin has actually been it's been holding, and you see Slerf has been kind of pulling back. So I'm just very conscious of what's happening, and that makes me hesitate from doing anything that requires me to buy. All right. Otherwise, yeah, let's see. I mean, Slerf is like any other token, really. Like initially there was a lot of hype about Slerf, about it being some kind of Bitcoin premium, Solana, whatever. Maybe not, who knows. At the end of the day, the narrative is pretty much the same, you know, when it comes to Slerf. And so I like the fact that you have all of the tokens in supply, in circulation. I like the fact that none of the team or the developers have pre-allocated tokens. And I like the fact that we have quite a good market cap, 109 million, and pretty good trading volume, like 28 million trading volume in the last 24. It's like a quarter of the market cap in trading volume. So it's it's very liquid, and obviously it's on a lot of markets as well. So we've got it on a bunch of markets. Looking at the volume, you see HTX is still pushing on the highest spot market volume, $14 million in the last 24 hours. And then when you're looking at the perps, the futures, you're seeing that Bybit is about half at $6 million in the last 24 hours. Yeah, so at the moment, spot HTX is still leading. But I mean, I'm not really fast. I think it's better to chart and analyze on perpetuals, because that's where people are risking. You know, they're taking big risks, and so their invalidations and their take profits are a little bit more on point. Anyway, other than that, I don't really have I think as long as Bitcoin continues to show strength, then you don't fade out from alts. And obviously, if in the future there's going to be a Solana ETF, then I wouldn't be surprised if Slerf pumps like there's no tomorrow, just simply because it's the most liquid of the Solana memes or tokens, and probably one of the highest volume ones as well. And so in that context, I think if in the future there is some kind of Solana something, ETF, whatever, then I wouldn't be surprised if of all of the tokens, Slerf had the most gains. So definitely something to, and regardless of the project, I don't really give a shit about the project. I don't care about it. I think it could have been a good project, but the reality is that there's a lot of idiots in crypto on there. There's a lot of people in crypto who have no experience in running businesses or dealing with customer service or anything. It's got some like video gamers who somehow create a meme token and are pretty good with art, and all of a sudden they're trying to turn this into a multi-billion-dollar empire. It doesn't really correlate with success. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not too impressed with Slerf, to be honest with you. The people behind it, Slerf Capital. But that being said, who cares? I only look at the charts, and the charts are telling me bullish, right? That's all that really matters. And if people have been following TRVL, then look what's happening. Oh gosh, that would bend. Slerf is hot. It will come. All right, maybe. It's bullish. It's bullish, so that's all that matters. Right. This is TRVL. What can I say? I'm not going to say I told you so, because obviously I've been wrong in the past, and I don't get anything from that. I don't get anything from being right or wrong. I'm just trying to kind of give people a little bit of kind of information of what's happening, and then people can make their own decisions about what to do with when to buy, how to buy, and when to sell, how to sell. Okay. I have been talking about this area being some kind of low here, coming back into this range. We took out the liquidity from this pivot low here. We've come into this. This is the bull market volume. So it's the volume from October, and so I drew this volume profile, and I showed this to everyone. I showed everyone that we're coming into the value area low at about 28. Yeah, and what we've experienced is a really bullish reaction, and it's happened. It's coincided with Bitcoin, and so what we're experiencing potentially right now, we still haven't taken out that pivot high, and so in this context, that's the test. Take out that high, and you've got a V-shaped recovery. All right, that's basically what we're potentially experiencing. That high is at 4.3 cents. So right now the price is trading at 3.9, and we can take out that high. That is a V-shaped recovery, right? When you get a V-shaped recovery, you either keep on going and then come for a back test of that pivot that you've flipped potentially, or same as I've always said, you end up taking out that pivot high and you start forming some kind of sell-off, take profit, which ends up in some kind of downward channel of sorts. You don't want that selling to be too aggressive. Yeah, it can't be an aggressive sell-off. It has to be kind of like a little bit of a gentle, more like a corrective sell-off, a consolidatory sell-off. I don't know if that's going to happen, because right now, as you can see, we're back above this bull market point of control. We haven't tested it. We're back above the actual range point of control. We haven't tested it yet. So I think if we were to go up and then kind of lose the point of control, I wouldn't like to see that. I don't think that's very bullish. It could happen. And so naturally anything can happen. Let's just say if you lose it, and actually you're just coming back down to this one to test it here. I don't know. I'm just making this up. I have no idea. But we are kind of getting back above levels. We're just not testing them. That's all. Look, we've just gone straight through that point of control. But what, look, it looks like we've held support here a little bit, resistance here a little bit, but pull that other one. See those? There, look. See that? That was a front run. So that is a test. That's tested. In my mind, that's tested. It's kind of front run, but it's a test. This one hasn't been tested yet. You found resistance a little bit. We haven't tested it yet. And so who knows? No one really knows. But if you take out that pivot and you do start selling off and you don't hold the point of control, then my target would be this one here at 3.4 cents. That would work, because that would also be some kind of fib retracement at about 50%, which is, I like 50%, especially when it coincides with like a big point of control like that. And obviously that doesn't have to happen, because what happens if the price comes back and you actually find support on the level that we haven't really back tested yet, the point of control. So it's looking bullish. And you buy? If you want to, you can buy. I'd rather wait for the pullback. Yeah. And also, I'd rather wait. I'd rather put limit orders at key levels. Okay. So if anyone is in TRVL, yeah, if anyone is watching me, yeah, when you want to buy on a corrective move, put limit orders. Don't market buy. Yeah, just avoid market buying on corrective moves. It just makes it more difficult to go. It just makes it more. It just means the price can. It makes it less bullish. I can't explain it. It just means you want to hold the higher prices on a correction because it means you can go higher when the impulse happens. So this is quite impulsive now. We're having a little bit of an impulsive move here. Yeah. This has been quite impulsive, no? Impulse, ABC. It's like a little impulse here. It's a little bit of impulse. ABC. 1, 2, I don't know. Some kind of wave 3 here. Who knows? That would work actually, because that's as far as you'd come. Let me just pull that volume profile back in. You kind of have to redraw it every time. Let me see. It'd be nice to take out that pivot. And then if we came back here to test that point of control, that would also work. And then could we go up to the value area low, high? Somewhere there, it's possible, who knows? So we are seeing a little bit of an impulsive move. And we are in the wave 1, and this could be the wave 3. And I just want to see how this plays out. If we do complete 5 waves on the wave 1 here, then I'll be looking for an ABC correction for the next big wave, and I'll be looking for that. And technically, that would be your pivot low. The invalidation would be 22.8 cents for this whole kind of idea. If we do take out this pivot at 4.3 cents, like with this kind of move up, then we are potentially changing market structure. Not confirmed, but we are putting a higher high. After you put in a higher high, it's the higher low that people want. So if anyone is like looking to catch this move, you're basically looking for an ABC correction after this initial impulse is completed to catch the price on some kind of back test. So we have this, I actually have this trend line. Look, we're breaking out this trend line, aren't we? So naturally, and anyone could buy because the price probably go up more, probably. Could probably go up another 10% or more. But then you'd have to take profit because then you'd be looking for potentially for the price to stop and then to start correcting. But who knows? No one really knows. Let me just have a look at this this fib base extension here to the 1, 2. Yeah, we came into the, we cleared the 1-to-1 without a problem. Came into the 1.272 up to the 1, like we're just clearing level, we're just clearing fib levels, like there's no, that's quite bullish, huh? Just ignoring levels. Just people are just buying, not really much selling going on here, it's just all buying. So maybe we do go up to about anywhere there, somewhere between 4.3 and 4.6, right? And then as bulls, we have to buy and hold the price up on the back tests. Yeah, that's what we want to do. That's what I'll be looking to do. So I'm not looking to pump the price. I'll be looking to defend the price on a pullback. So it's going to happen. It's going to come. Yeah, there's no FOMO needed. I'd be looking for a back test of the point of control, really. That's what I'm thinking of right now. At the moment, it's at 3.8 cents. And so naturally what you'd want to do is you want to buy after selling has ended or is about to end into support. Yeah, so this is quite interesting. So I just want people to be aware that we're actually impulsively pumping right now, even though it doesn't look like much. From the 2.8 cents to current price, we're up 42%. Yeah, and I just want people to be aware of everything else that's happening in the market and why this is such a good sign for us. Okay, we did correct a lot, that's fair, but at least we're now moving. Okay, and so look, just from this low here, let me just mark it off. From this low here in Bitcoin, from this Bitcoin low here, Bitcoin is up 16%. From the exact same area of interest, we're up 42%. So this was a lot better, more lucrative to be in TRVL than Bitcoin, according to this. When it's going up, it's better to be in TRVL. If and when, if you compare it to some other altcoins, yeah, let's just compare it to Slerf. From the low here, Slerf is only up 23%. So you see, TRVL is up more. NOT is up a lot, just simply because it dropped a lot and then it got pumped like there was no tomorrow. Look, NOT is up like 62%. So there are some other coins which are really bullish, like NOT is really bullish, which is why I like it. But then if you compare it to some other tokens, let's just say AVA, for example, look at AVA. AVA from these lows to where we are, it's only up 18%. And so naturally you see we're up 42%. So actually this is quite bullish. TRVL is quite bullish in comparison. You see a lot of tokens which aren't really pumping or doing that well in comparison. Let's have a look at the mathematics of large cap, so you can't really compare it. Let's go to some of these ones which are more well known. Let's have a look at Flocky. 39%. So we're kind of on par with Flocky at the moment. It's not bad. Let's have a look at Rose. 25%. Let's have a look at Cake. 20%. IOTA, let's have a look at that. 23%. So we're doing quite well, huh? So, and are there tokens that aren't pumping? Sure there are. I've got tokens here that aren't pumping. Let me have a look. Castor. It looks like it's pumping too. 15%. Yeah, see that? So you got small tokens that have had similarly large pullbacks. Look, very similar. Castor is an interesting one actually, because Castor launched at the same time as TRVL on Bybit, and from the top to bottom we had a 75% drawdown. Castor had a very similar drawdown at 75%, 72%. But look at this. Castor's only managed to go up 16%. And we've actually managed to go up nearly 45%. Okay. So that's the difference. So when you're looking at tokens, you can clearly see that TRVL is really bullish. Much more bullish than some of these other rubbish tokens. Any one of these. Let's have a look at Prop. Prop is quite a bullish one. Prop S. The reason why this is bullish is because it's in Prop Base, rather. Prop S. It's in price discovery. It's come down to the right place to find support. See that neckline that I drew? It was front run. Okay. It had a really massive expansive move because it's in price discovery. It's a brand new token. It had a drawdown of 82%. Okay. From the height. It did pump a lot though, so that's expected. And now from this low to here, we're up 86%. Yeah. So there are some other tokens which do better. Why does Prop Base do better than TRVL? Because it's in price discovery. That's the reason why. We're in the highs. We're in price discovery. TRVL isn't there yet. And so naturally, potentially, the glory days are yet to come. Potentially, right? Let's have a look at these other ones in comparison to TRVL. Quanex. Quanex had a pretty big drawdown, like same as TRVL, 76%. And then the rise has only been about 33%. So you see TRVL is even more bullish than Quanex, in my opinion. Voights, let's have a look at Voights. They had a pretty big drawdown as well. Somewhere from the highs to the lows, about 79, 80%. And the rise now has been about 23%. TRVL is more bullish than Voights. And so I see that a lot. I see TRVL going heads up against a lot of big players in terms of the sentiment and the bullishness. So I'm seeing a lot more bullish price action now than I've ever seen before, to be honest with you, on TRVL. We've clearly breaking out of this trend line, which is what we want to see. This is I had a couple of trend lines that I was monitoring. Let me just pull those out here. I had this one here, the initial one. We broke out from that, but made lower lows. And here now we've broken out from this outer one, okay? And then you've got that big outer one out the big out one from the top there. If we break out of that one, then hopefully we're not going to see Earth again. We're going to be going straight to the moon. So anyway, this is looking quite good. I hope no one's sold. I haven't been selling. I haven't sold. So actually, I'm quite happy because my portfolio is up a lot. And so, yeah, you can't fade out on this. Look, it's 4.1 cents already. What's going on? Look at that. Fucking hell. Buy. Market buy. Maybe people were just, they just were out of position. I don't know. You can't get out of position on TRVL. It's a danger. Because suddenly you've lost 40% of your potential gains if you've sold because you're worried, panicking. All right, that's TRVL. Let me have a look at the higher time frame candles and see if I see anything interesting. So look, this is a really potentially a really bullish monthly candle forming on TRVL. You've got a really nice buying tail. You've got a swing failure of the previous month low, and we've come into this monthly order block and we've had a really bullish reaction. Look at the volume. Already the volume on this month is already like 2/3 of the way from the previous month. Can you see that? I'm telling you guys, this is bullish as fuck. I'm telling you, this is really bullish. Yeah, this could be the higher low that I was talking about, and we could potentially be forming a higher time frame rounding bottom. It looks like an inverse head and shoulders. It's not, just simply because we haven't put in a higher high, and you see, we haven't put in a higher high. We didn't take out that high, so we've got a sloping neckline, but potentially a rounding bottom here. Yeah. If we do go up, then I'd love to see that break. And if that breaks, then we're going up to $1, probably. Right up to that monthly level, with a brief stop at 20, somewhere here, 28 cents. Basically, that's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining as a brief stop at 28 cents, maybe a back test of 9 cents or whatever, 12 cents, whatever, who knows, and then up to $1. You get up to $1, bro, you're going up to the moon. Yeah, because if people start seeing that this is just keeps on going up now, up and up and up, but people are going to FOMO in. They're going to FOMO in. All right, I'm just waiting for that moment to happen, because then I can, I don't know if I'm going to laugh. I'm certainly not going to cry. All right, so this is let's get rid of these lines now. This is the 3-month candles. I wish I had my money to buy more now. I haven't. If that's not sold yet, it's really annoying. Never move to the UK, guys. It's hard to do things here. Look at that 3-month candle. I don't know if people were paying attention. I said that was quite bullish because we had a little bullish reaction off the low. We didn't actually quite hit the low, kind of slightly above it, a little bit of a reaction. And now we're getting the real reaction. Yeah. So I do like that. I do like these candles. I do like that that's a red candle, because in the future, you know, you clear these red candles, and on a higher time frame, that whole thing becomes your market structure. Yeah. If we in the future start getting higher prices, yeah, I really can't foresee the price being able to successfully get back underneath 9 cents in the future, just because of all of this higher time frame market structure that's been laid down at the lows here. Yeah. And so if we do end up going impulsively to higher prices in the future, I think this will be a really strong foundation structurally. And so naturally, I've always said this, anything that I think is being accumulated at these lows will probably be in profit, probably, as long as nothing catastrophic happens with the project or of the world, it'll probably be in profit forever, probably. But anyway, that's just speculative jargon. All right, look at that 6-month candle. Look at that. You had a really bullish inverse hammer in the lows, and now we're having a nice liquidity grab from the lows, and we're getting a nice buy up. And look, we've just only begun moving. So look, we're already on 4.3 cents. I think I should just market buy and just, I'm not going to do it. I should do it, huh? Because I'm not really positioned in, am I? Let's see. It's interesting because Bitcoin is down and my altcoins are all green and Bitcoin is red. What the hell? It's good that I closed my position out. My altcoins are all green. Bitcoin is red. Can't explain it. Well, I can really, because it's, I don't necessarily think that's going to continue, but anyway, let's see. All right. So that's TRVL. Oh, look at that. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see. We've just taken out that that daily high. Look at that. See that just now while I was pretty much chatting. Had a nice a big take profit. Look at that. 2 big take profits on TRVL. Someone market bought all the way up to, with only 18k TRVL. That was another buy up, but it was a another 30k, and then someone took profit into that. Okay, so actually, even though someone's taking profit, people are buying. So it's a high volume red candle, but it's actually quite bullish because it's the price is being absorbed and the gaps are being filled with that candle. What I can comfortably say that in the last 5 minutes we've put in a higher high. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to see, right? I was talking about it a minute ago. Look at that. That was your pivot high here. This one, it. That was your lower high before we put in a lower low here. And literally in the last 5 minutes, we've just taken out that high. That's a higher high. Okay. That's a higher high. And also, this is a V shape. So I was talking about a little bit of a V shape happening. And it's a lot easier to see on a higher time frame. You've got an inverse head and shoulders here. I talked about the inverse head and shoulders yesterday. And actually what you've got is a nice V here. See that? We've taken out the pivot high. That's what I wanted to see. And as long as now we don't take out this low here, that's your line in the sand, 2.8 cents. This is really bullish. Let's now potentially, I mean, who knows? The price could still go up. It depends on how FOMO-ish people get. If someone FOMO's in now because they're seeing this, they could just take the price higher and not care about tomorrow. And so naturally, I want to see what happens now. What kind of V-shaped recovery we form here? Do we just now start going down and coming down to here, probably to about 3.3, 3.4 to go up? Or do we just go up and then actually the real test is here? You know, a proper V. So this is actually really exciting, and all we need to do now. So remember, guys, this is a daily time frame market structure change that I'm contemplating right now. Yeah, and it's really important for the price action to become bullish. Yeah, in the past we had a bullish market structure. We had high lows, high highs. We lost the higher low here. That was the higher low here. That was the higher high. We came all the way down from a high high to take out the low here. See that? That became the lower low. And then we went up to put a lower high. And as soon as we didn't take it out here, we took it out here. So as soon as we took it out here, market structure change. That was confirmation. That was this was your lower low here, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. See that? Higher high, and actually we've come into some kind of neckline here at 4.4 cents. Yeah. So we've just put in, for the first time since we lost market structure, bullish market structure on the 9th of June. So we've only been in bearish market structure for slightly over a month, 5 weeks. And we've just, after 5 weeks, we've put in a higher high here. Yeah, you see that? That's your higher high. It just happened now. Okay. All we need to do now is defend this low, 2.8. Yeah. Whatever happens now, 2.8 must hold. yeah, as a higher low. So the next low has to be a higher low. Wherever it comes, it doesn't matter. I'm thinking somewhere 3.3, 3.4, who knows? And whatever happens, you put in a higher low, you take out the current high, which is at 4.4, and you have a market structure confirmation bullish. Yeah. And so you could, in my mind, you'd speculatively long the pullback with an invalidation here. In my mind, that's what you would do. That's what I would do. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Yeah. I'm looking to see where the price settles for a pullback, and maybe you can buy the higher low and then take it right up to change market structure. You change market structure, this becomes bullish because now you're putting in higher lows and higher highs. And look what happened. The minute we change market structure here, with that wick that went up and took out those highs, the price actually ascended 300%. That was the first stage, wave one, call it wave one. I think this is going to be significantly more bullish. Whatever happens here, I think it's going to be significantly more bullish. We're still kind of in the same area. Huh? We're still kind of in the same range. You change market structure here. Honestly, I'm thinking at least the 28 cents, which would be about a 500% increase. That would then, I'll be looking at a weekly time frame market structure change. That's really what I want to see next. I want to see a daily market structure change, which I think we're starting to do now. And then I want to see a weekly market structure change. That would require us to take out this pivot high at the top here on the weekly time frame. Again, the same idea, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, so we haven't seen that yet. This is perfectly acceptable. This would be a rounding bottom. Yeah. And obviously, you could also get something very similar to a head and shoulders, a breakout, a neckline back test, and continuation. You could also get that kind of market structure change. So no one can predict that. Okay, I think let's just see what happens. All right, there's some as long as we hold 2.8 now, I'm happy. All right, and that will be your higher low. That means the floor is in, isn't it? You're putting in high lows. Once you take out the high and change market structure, let's go to the moon. Yeah, let's just go to the moon. Let's not fade from the moon. All right. So that's TRVL. Let's see how that price action is reflected on the BTC chart. So I'm quite interested in this as well. Look at this. Look, the price is now finally trying to pierce the value area low. Look at that. That's interesting. We've come above this SR flip. This is on the weekly time frame. So let me go back to the daily time frame. Look, we've come above this SR flip, this last pivot. Right now we're piercing the value area low. If we can successfully, like I drew here, flip it into support against BTC, you're buying the low of the range. Yeah. And your aim in this kind of trade idea, or this kind of accumulation idea, is to take it up all the way to the value area high. That would be the target. And of course, the point of control can and will act as an SR flip in between the journey of the price to the highs, right? So yeah, so it's looking quite healthy, and as long as, you know, Bitcoin doesn't throw us too many surprises that shock us, then I think we should be okay. Yeah, Bitcoin is pulling back a little. Altcoins are not. Let me see this price action. What time is it? It's 12. Let me see these candles. So we've got the 12-hour candle about to close. Oh, it's looking quite bearish, isn't it? That's a bearish. It's looking quite a bearish candle. So I do wonder if we see the next one go down. I do wonder. Okay, I don't think I would buy that candle in the highs. It's like an inverse. What is that? That's a dragon. Is that a dragonfly doji? Gravestone doji. Yeah, it's a gravestone doji in the highs. It's pretty bearish. Huh? So just be aware of that candle. And obviously on the 4-hour time frame, you've got a little bit of a reversal pattern in play on BTC. Just be aware of that, and don't get caught longing if we're starting to see signs of reversal. You've got to be looking for signs of strength, and at the very least, let's just get back above the VWAP. Yeah. So that would be my best advice for anyone who's interested. Look, everything's pulling back now. Everything's pulling back. And so just be aware of that. Even TRVL, we had a little pump, take out the high, make me happy, and then have a little bit pull back. That's fine. I don't care. Yeah, who cares? Take out the high. That's all I really wanted to see. So whoever did that, thank you. And now we're having a little bit of a pullback. All right. Any questions? So I've been trading some other altcoins. I just wanted to kind of just go over them, just in case anyone. Oh. Just in case anyone is interested. I'll just go through them quickly. I've been trading ENA. Yeah, I like ENA because it moves. It's really bullish. It's really unusual. It looks bearish, but actually it's quite bullish. I've kind of mapped out this kind of ABCD harmonic. It came roughly on time into kind of my area of interest somewhere down here, and now we're getting a bullish reaction. The reason why I like this token is because look at where we are. Look, we're just so low, and imagine if we can, imagine if this can get back into the range and get back up to the highs. You've got quite a nice increase in value. I like it because you can leverage as well, and because it's on derivatives. So when it moves, I think it's quite bullish. And so this is how I judge bullishness sometimes, is I'll take like multiple positions on different tokens, roughly the same amount, and whichever one does better in my mind is bullish. Yeah. So some tokens you'll see, oh my God, it's up like X%. And then some tokens are just like, they're nowhere, or they're even red. Yeah. And if you start doing that, stick to the ones that are green. Just focus on those. Yeah. Some tokens are more bullish than others because there's just more interest in those tokens, because basically people can make more money. Yeah, it's always about making money at the end of the day. And you'll notice that. You'll notice that because you'll invest in some tokens or buy some tokens, they'll do better than other tokens. So I think this has been quite a good one. I've enjoyed it. And it's been just really bullish. I've made mistakes and I've still made money. That's why I like it. When you make mistakes and you still walk away with money, then you can't be upset about that. So ENA, I have no idea what this token is, but I'm just trading it. It's not a big deal. What else am I looking at right now? Let me have a look because I posted it in my Twitter. I'll just go to my Twitter right now and just have a look and see what other posts. Let me find him, huh? So ENA, this one, yeah, I just like it because when you buy it goes up. Obviously, when it was going down, you didn't want to buy it, but now that we kind of formed this kind of bottoming pattern, it's basically we had the change in market structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. See that? Came into the neckline, tested it, got a really nice market structure change in a 4-hour time frame. This potentially, if this continues to be bullish, just let's continue to put in higher lows, higher highs. Yeah, this could be the beginning of a long uptrend. Who knows? So that's why I'm quite interested in this. On the daily time frame, still no change in market structure, just a 4-hour time frame. All right, that one I've been looking at. Not, I've been talking about not a while. I think it's really bullish too. Yeah, I've been talking about not. And actually I had this kind of ABC correction. We had the 5 waves impulse ABC. Then we had this kind of fake out with a V-shaped recovery. Okay, let me just get rid of these lines. Yeah. See that? We've put in a higher high here, taken out that high. We've put in potentially putting in a higher low, and we haven't taken out the high. The minute you take out that high, that's a market structure change on the daily time frame. This becomes bullish on a daily time frame. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Potentially this could be quite good. This looks quite impulsive. It was like impulse one. So we could be in an ABC correction here, like a flat extended correction. And so naturally, why am I bullish on this? Well, because I was expecting the next impulsive move. Okay. I had this first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was very impulsive, this first move. It took the price of this token 500% in a very short period of time, like in about 5 or 6 days. That's what you want to see. Right? That's how you make money. Yeah, it's to make so much gains in such a short period of time. We had this kind of ABC correction. I was expecting, hoping that this would be it. But obviously it rejected. It faked out, whatever. And then we have this impulsive move. So it doesn't make any difference to the idea of what this is. Yeah. It doesn't make any difference, really. It could just be that. It's just as feasible for that to be in play. So it means I just did it wrong, or as always it was correct, but actually it was trying to do something else, which is what always seems to happen with crypto. Let's get rid of this volume pool. Okay. See, look, we're back above the range point of control. This is really important. So I talk about the volume area a lot. This is the overall range. This is a brand new token, and look at it. We're back above the point of control. We're holding the point of control as support at the moment. Yeah, and that's what I want to see. We haven't taken out the daily high. You take out that daily high, we're in a bullish market structure. Daily bullish market structure has been confirmed. Okay. Potentially, if this is the ABC, that could work out. And we're just looking at the pattern forming now. It looks nice. Yeah, on 1-to-1 on the B. That was really nice. And then let's see how that plays out. No, nothing. It kind of lost 618 and it came back above it. Anyway, ABC, I don't know, ABC, I don't know. Potentially, look, let me see, some kind of A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Yeah, that's fine. That looks okay. So actually, that's not an ABC. It's what I use. It's a WXY. That's correct. How did it came all the way to the golden pocket? Perfect tap. Yeah. Immediately you had a bullish impulsive move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your wave 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your wave 1. This is your ABC correction. So I'm looking for, this is a flat correction at the moment. And then I'm looking for the wave 3. This next wave is going to be the biggest wave. Because you've had your wave 1. This is your wave 2 correction. This is your wave 1 of 3. This is the wave 2 of 3, which we're in now. Now we're looking for a wave 3 of 3, which is the big one. Hopefully that big one's going to take us into another all-time high. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for at the moment on this token, right? So right now what we're experiencing is some kind of corrective move, like an ABC. And let's pivot. Hold on, I got a phone call. So on this, looking for, based on this idea, looking for some kind of ABC. Maybe that's an A, B, C. Which is quite a nice harmonic as well, isn't it? Looks quite harmonic-y. Let me time it. One-to-one is Sunday. Ooh. Maybe the 618 Friday. Anyway, one of these pivots, one of these fib times, Sunday, Friday. I think Friday is more, in my mind, Friday is more likely, because I know in the weekends, crypto loves to pump when things are looking a little bit bullish. The weekends are where you have relatively low volume, so you start getting a lot of kind of fast increases in price. So I'll keep an eye on this. At the moment, we're holding the point of control, so we don't actually, this doesn't actually have to go down that far. You know, if you just, if the point of control just holds, which would be really bullish if we see that, the price just fails to get underneath the point of control, yeah, then you'll be looking at a flat correction here. This is like a flat correction after you have this impulsive move. And honestly, I'm thinking the next one is going to be fucking big. I really do believe that. Yeah. Depending on where this 2 ends, I can do a trend-based fib extension. Let's just say it comes down to this pivot low. Doesn't really matter. Then, you know, like a 1-to-1 will take us to 26 cents. But, you know, if you get a really expansive move, you're probably heading up to about, sorry, not 26 cents, 2.6 cents. This will take us to 4 cents. Yeah. I actually think 4 cents would be a really nice target. Potentially. It's like a 200% move. You think that's nothing. On spot, you might, it's true. It's pretty shit. But I'm not concerned about spot on this. I'm concerned about leverage. And when you catch an impulsive move, the great thing about impulsive moves is you don't even need to have an invalidation. You can just market buy, just keep buying, buy the impulse. And so it's really easy to kind of get into a big position and for that big position to move, because the whole market for a short period of time is market buying, is impulsively market buying. Yeah. And so naturally, even though it's a 200% move that I've got in mind, it doesn't really matter, because you'll be leveraging and highly leveraging as well, potentially. So I've got this in mind, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. So I've been trading not. It's not easy, but it's good. And then let me see what else I've been looking at. Well, what did I write? I've shown you ENA, okay, and obviously there's ZRO as well, ZRO, whatever. Where is ZRO? Is it down here? There it is. Right. Yeah. So it's a new token on Bybit. I'm trading on Bybit, and basically a friend of mine is the market maker. So it's, look at the swings. Look, it's crazy. Look, it goes from there to there, 60% down, 20-30%. Now the swings aren't that heavy in terms of percentage wise, but the good thing about this token is, look, it's only just consolidating now, and soon, I think soon in the future, it could be in price discovery. So I'm quite interested in this. I think it's bullish. we had a nice V-shaped recovery here. Okay, this whole thing is a recovery. This whole thing is a recovery. It's like it's not an Adam and Eve because it's a rounding and then V, doesn't matter. That's potentially an Adam and Eve, but it didn't break out. Doesn't really matter. I think it's really quite bullish. I know the momentum on this market is quite flat as well, or it's even up. You see that? That's the 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. Look, you see now we're above it and it's holding the price as support. The reason why I'm interested in this is because I think when we start going into price discovery, we could go up quite high very quickly. So it's just something to just be, and every time the price goes down, it goes back up, and it goes back up quite aggressively. I know that the reason why is because my mate's the market maker and he's just pumping it. All right. So it's not a difficult one to make money on. You just have to have guts of steel when you're buying the dips. Yeah. But the whole thing is bullish in my opinion. Okay. It does look like we're forming a rounding top here, just FYI, just to kind of just to be fair with my observations. So I do wonder if we do go down and take out these lows and then break this rounding top for an explosive move to the upside. I do wonder if that happens. And so it does look like some kind of head and shoulders pattern forming here. So naturally, I'll be interested to see if we can fake it. Again, the same as the idea as I had with Slerf. If we can fake out a breakdown, get back into the neckline, and then pump to the moon, pump to the heavens. Okay. And so naturally, I'll be looking to see how the price behaves at certain key levels. And I think the golden pocket could be a good place to see what happens. If I do a volume pull here, we're still above the point of control. So that's the thing, you know, while you're above the point of control, I'm not bearish at all. But okay, if you do lose the point of control, let's just come back down to the value area low, the golden pocket. Nice test here, and then maybe then that's what's needed for this to start exploding to the upside. The confirmation would be to lose it and then reclaim the neckline. You reclaim the neckline, that's an extremely bullish price action. I don't even expect that to happen. I'm just saying that's an idea. Otherwise, let's just hold the point of control. Let's just kind of nicely range here, and then let's go up. Okay, and it doesn't have to just go up. It could fake out. So when you get rounding tops, it's always possible to fake out. You know, that's kind of what I would be like looking for. But at the moment, it's holding the point of control, so it's in a good kind of accumulation range. And look, it's quite a large amount of volume there. Huh? See the whole volume profile. Most of the volume is here, and we're holding it at support. There's a really nice SR flip in play here. You see that the structure formed here, and then it came up, came down, and that was your test. Yeah, so I don't actually think that the point of control is going to lose as a support level. I don't think, because we've tested it once. But as with everything can happen, anything can happen, and so you just to be prepared for good entries on pullbacks. At the moment, I wouldn't just buy here, to be honest with you. I can see there's lower highs, and I can see, I can see that it's possible we go down. Okay, so if we do now, and so this is the other thing, if you're not in position and then you suddenly see the price go up and starts to flip that pivot into support, hell yeah, let's buy. I would buy that too. Yeah, so buying a little bit higher on a sign of strength, which is a flip of a pivot into support, or lower somewhere where the price finds support. Maybe obviously down here would be amazing, but I'm not expecting it. So even if it just kind of takes out that pivot low at the point of control, I'll be okay with that too. Okay, so there's lots of like ideas here. This is a good one. Why? Because it's going to be in price discovery and the momentum is up. Yeah, and so naturally the problem with a lot of tokens is that they've had a long extended down move, and there's a lot of trap liquidity, so a lot of the volume levels are above the price, and so naturally a lot of people will be looking to to break even or to exit at without a loss, and so that causes problems for the price to go up. This doesn't have that problem, so that's why I like it. It's above the range point of control. There's no volume in the highs. No one is going to be under pressure to sell if the price starts pumping, and that's when greed kicks in. Price discovery. People then don't sell because they think they're safe, and then they also think the bull run is beginning, and maybe we can go up to ridiculously high numbers. That's how they think. So anyway, Marvey's just weighed into the conversation. I think BTC will drop more. Had a good bounce above resistance yesterday, above 64.8. Yeah, possibly. That's why that's what we've been talking about this morning, Marvey. So I'll be looking to see what happens in the New York session as well. I wouldn't mind a couple of red days, to be honest with you. You know, and it's hard to short because it's not big moves to the downside. So, and we haven't actually hit the point of control yet either. I do wonder if we get one red day here, another red day, maybe another red day. I do wonder if we get like 3 red days and come down to test the gap, the CME gap. Where is it? That's kind of, I'm interested in this gap, but I'm not interested in filling it. I'm interested in the bouncing of it. Okay. And I don't mind that for that to happen at all. Let's just imagine that is the pivot that's put in now. It'd be a front run of the point of control. Yeah. But let's have a look. Look, the gap lands perfectly at the moment on the 382. Yeah. So I'd be quite interested to see. We've put in a higher high on a daily time frame. You see that? This is the lower high, lower low, higher high. That's a higher high. That's a daily time frame market structure initiation for change from bearish to bullish. And so I wouldn't mind if we come down to put in a higher low to go up. So naturally, my mind is on a higher low right now. It's not on pumping this to the moon. It's on where is the higher low going to come in and just waiting for that to happen. I'm not thinking let's take this to the moon. If it goes, it goes. Who cares? Yeah, whatever. If it goes to the moon, I'm happy as well because of TRVL on the spot position. That will all go up. But what I'm thinking now is to not ape in now, thinking it's going to go up because I'm thinking actually it wants to go down and find support. Yeah, you could short, but every single time you short, you're probably going to get wrecked. Probably going to get wrecked. Look, we've just taken out the low. So you see, I did say, you know, I'm closing out my positions because I was a little bit worried about the price action, and I don't think I was wrong, was I? Don't think I was wrong. All my positions are red now, but I've scaled back on all of them already. So naturally, the biggest one that I have is BTC. It's only like 0.1 BTC actually. So it's tiny in comparison. But I think it was a good choice for me to scale back because I could see that there was a little bit of weakness. We lost the VWAP. And Marve saying 62.5 is a good bounce. So you're saying 62.5, that would bring us back down to here. Yeah. But actually, I'm thinking we go down to the gap. I don't know, but I just think, why not? Why don't we go all the way down to test the gap? Not to fill it, but just to test it. There's a little bit of a gap here. Could this be your 5 wave now? Yeah, it could be. Let me just have a look at that. Could that be it? Yeah, that could be. It's possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is the. See that? ABC. 1, 2, 3. ABC 4, 5. Perfect. Where does it end? Probably there. That could have been it. So now this could be corrective. So maybe I can actually calculate this. The CME gap is all the way down here. I do wonder if we just find support on this trend line that I've drawn. But if not, that doesn't matter, because we can just draw this one. Draw it down. Yeah, I think that'd be better. I really want to come down to the gap, but I don't want to fill it. I just want to test it. Because I think a lot of people will be selling to fill it. And that's kind of what I'm interested in. Because I think if suddenly you start approaching this gap, I think a lot of people are going to be shorting because they want to fill the gap. Yeah. And so I didn't draw the full gap. Let me just draw the full gap so you guys can see it. BTCD. Yeah. There it is. Look, so I've got that top level there. The lower one is here. So what's that number? The close there. What's the close? 57,805. 57,805. Oh fuck! It's all the way down there. Look at that. So there's a big gap. See, the gap it started here and it ends here. It's a massive gap in the market. Yeah. So I think if the price approaches here, oh, everything's bleeding now. So I'm definitely going to close out all my positions now. At least BTC. The rest are okay. They're only small. So, I think a lot of people are going to get really bearish, right? Because they're going to see a big gap and they're going to want to fill it. Yeah. And so they're going to start shorting. A lot of people will start shorting. And actually what I'm thinking is that will be perfect because you're coming into this value area high of this up move. You're coming to some kind of fib level and also maybe kind of this trend line. And so you kind of want people to short because if you could squeeze them. And so that's what I have in my mind at the moment, right? And I had a what was it? Was it that one? No. Let me just have a look at that one actually. So how would that play out? So I kind of had it to the could that be further? Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. So you'd have to take out that pivot. What does that look like to you? Copy image. That would say same feeling. Well, it's good that we're on the same page. Yeah? Smart guy, not me, you. Sorry, I always have to look at these because. So it doesn't really matter. The C was higher. That would be a cipher. If the D is higher, it's a cipher. And the only other one where it was higher would be a shark. That would be where this is lower. Be a shark. It's either a shark or a cipher. If this was to play out, I think probably a cipher, probably a higher pivot. I probably don't think this pivot needs to be taken. And it would just be a higher low of this pivot. And it will be just to kind of test the gap. Who cares if you take out that low? It doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you find support. Okay, it doesn't really matter which harmonic is in play. It's a lot easier with swing failures, but in a bull market, you have to be fully aware that you could make higher lows and you don't get the swing failure that you're looking for. And you still have to take the trade, right? You can't just ignore it just because you don't get exactly what you want. So at the moment, this is what I've got in my mind at the moment, right? And I'm looking for an ABC correction down possibly. So let's just time it and see how this works out. roughly at the 618, roughly. Okay, almost there. So that's not bad, is it? It's not bad. And so if we continue that idea, Friday, I wouldn't mind Friday. Huh? I don't know. It's not easy. Timing moves. This is going to show a completely different weird scale. So it's anyone's guess really, but possibly Friday. It would be a 1 to 2. No, this is Thursday, isn't it? This is Thursday. This is Friday. Somewhere here. I don't know, because this is Thursday during the day, and actually you'd have to go deeper. I think here you don't have to go so deep, but it's Friday evening, and I don't know. And just bear in mind, we don't have to go down in a straight line. So I think a lot of people might feel like this could go down like this. It could go up like that. And then it could go down like that. Yeah, it doesn't really matter how you get there. The only thing that can't happen is you can't go back above the original C. You can't do that. That doesn't work. And obviously the rest doesn't really matter. Nothing matters. That would be really, that would be like a head and shoulders. Nice fake out. Amazing. Huh? That would be amazing to see something like that. All right. So just some ideas. These are all ideas. Nothing is, it's all speculative. So I don't want people to think just because I'm speculating that this is going to happen. The great thing is that if it does happen on time and you get the correct reaction at the place of interest, then you can take a really easy trade. Yeah, you can have a really small invalidation, and if it's correct, then you should get a nice impulsive move. Right. To short now would be speculative on the C, but to long a completed harmonic on a D is not a speculation. It's a planned trade. Yeah, that's the difference. Shorting a C is very speculative. Longing the D is a planned trade. And as always, I say the target is 50%. Yeah, so you would never aim more than 50% in the first instance. In this case, it would be right back up to 63.5. Okay, but I think if we were to form this and to get back above this pivot B, then it'd be really bullish. So I would, even though 50% could be a nice TP, you know, maybe we go find support on that pivot and then head to the moon, right? So some ideas, and who knows, maybe the price could just range here in the highs. So while I've got this drawn out as though it's going to happen, who knows? No one really knows. I'm just as happy for the price to kind of be range bound here above that pivot high for the next couple of days. I'll be okay with that. It would just be ranging here, and you could just buy the low of the range, buy it, sell the high of the range, etc. Not necessarily expecting an impulsive move, but I prefer this because it means we could buy at lower prices and then we can make more profit in the impulsive move to the upside, right? Holding position, adding it small each time if it reaches a significant low level. Yeah, Marve is saying I also emptied one of my 2 wallets and I'm in with about 20% to buy more on the drop. Well done. All right, guys. Unless you guys have any other questions, or if you want me to have a look at something else, I really do have to go now. What time is it? It's 12:44. I've got to go and pick up my nephews. I'm gonna take them out for lunch. Right. All right. Let me just quickly have a look at Slerf while we're here. Oh, look, Slerf is falling down, coming down to test this value area. See that? So actually with Slerf, I'm wondering if we can come down here to fake out this head and shoulders. If not, we can hold the value area. Who knows? We could just hold here. What if the price holds here? it's fine. That's bullish, yeah? So I'd be looking for that first. I wouldn't be looking to take it for it to go down. I'd be looking for it to hold. But obviously if it does kind of try to go down, then probably I'll be looking at Bitcoin first. Yeah, really wouldn't be looking at Slerf. I'd be looking for Bitcoin to find support before I start finding interest in altcoins in that moment. Yeah, and the good thing about Slerf is that when Bitcoin does find support, you see Slerf show quite a lot of resilience and strength quickly. You can see it first. And so if we start collapsing, if we start falling down, I'll just be waiting for Slerf to show strength. I wouldn't really worry about where it landed. Yeah. And I certainly wouldn't short. So it's one thing shorting after a mega pump here. That's kind of where you want to short. Mega pump, lots of people in profit, haven't taken the profit, and you're coming into some really key areas. You don't short here. Yeah, not many people are sitting in heavy profit. Most people here have taken their profit, to be honest with you. I don't think there's many people here sitting on a position here and who hasn't taken the profit. So there aren't really that crazy amounts of profits to be taken in the lows. It's very different to if you've already pumped here and people haven't taken profit. Why are people not taking profit here? Because they're aiming higher. Yeah, they're not really aiming for here, they're aiming for up there. That's why they're not taking profit. So naturally you can short and squeeze them down if the price starts to reverse, because they're holding for higher, but actually they should have been taking profit. This is a very different kind of situation because people are taking profit here. People who are longing are taking profit, re-adding, taking profit, re-adding, taking profit. So there isn't really much profit to be squeezed here. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sitting in heavy profits. I'm taking it. I'm taking all my profit, bringing it back into fear. All right. So I don't care if the price goes down because I'm not going to get squeezed because I'm already out. All right. And most people in the lows will be taking the profit. They're not necessarily holding for higher. Why? Because no one knows. No one knows what's going to happen. No one knows if this is going to now just fall down and make new lows. No one really can predict that. And so therefore, if you are in profit, you will take it because we're in a kind of the trend is still down. Yeah. Once the trend changes to an uptrend, then you'll be seeing people less and less likely to take profit or significant profit. They'll be skimming rather than taking profit at highs. It's a very different kind of behavior of people once the trend is an uptrend instead of a downtrend. Yeah. And so that's kind of what I'm waiting for Slerf. I'm waiting for a confirmation of a market structure change. And it's not going to be easy because market structure change in this context requires us to take out this high here. Lower high, lower low. So it's not easy to change market structure on a daily time frame. And then you have to zoom into potentially a lower time frame, a 4-hour time. Again, in a 4-hour time frame, it's just as difficult. Lower high, lower low. None of these matter. You have to take out that pivot high there at 26. So it's quite difficult to change market structure at the moment for Slerf, unless the price now goes down and puts in a lower low here, and then you go up and you take up this high instead of that high. Yeah, I'm actually thinking that's more likely than going up. But that being said, we are in the value area and we're holding at support at the moment. Yeah, as long as this continues, as long as we don't lose the value area, then up. And if you lose it, unless you get a fake out, which is what I'll be looking for, but if you don't get it, you don't get it, then I'll be looking for like I said before, back test down. And honestly, if you fail getting back into the value area, you get a back test with a strong reaction, you could short that, and because you have a tiny invalidation. And honestly, anyone who shorts that will be aiming for the lows. Yeah. And naturally, anyone who hasn't taken profit in this up move will be put under pressure. Okay, now it doesn't have to happen, and the reason why it doesn't have to happen is because you've got support levels that you have to get through. And so naturally, you know, even if you are shorting, you're going to be holding it to the lows, you will be looking to take profit too, because you're shorting in the lows. The context is very different to shorting in the highs. But you know, maybe there's like a trend line here. The price is just kind of formed. Maybe we're in an upward channel actually. I don't know. I'm just kind of making this up, but not really. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Yeah, that's better. That's okay. So why am I saying this is better? Quite simply because you have a reaction. That's a reaction. It's just front run. These are all reactions on the midpoint. Support, 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 resistance, support, and then back into the top of the channel. Resistance. Okay, so in this context, we could quite easily come back into the midpoint, go right back up, because we're following this channel, yeah. And obviously, if you lose the channel, you wouldn't necessarily the midpoint. You wouldn't necessarily think all the way down here in the first instance. If you lose it for whatever reason, you'd be thinking at the bottom of the channel, wouldn't you? You wouldn't necessarily be, and that would also coincide with maybe some kind of whatever, some kind of SR flip sorts. So yeah, even though you know a back test of that, you might short it. You wouldn't be holding for the lows, because you can see that we're in some kind of upward channel. All right, and that could continue. And this is what I was saying. Same as Bitcoin. It could just be really painful. It could just be doing this. Can you imagine if it just did that? Stopping everyone out, shorts and longs, but actually it's going up. So I'll be looking to see that. XRP was boosting. Yeah, I saw XRP boosting. Totally not interested. Not interested at all. Hate to say it, but I'm not. Where is XRP? Oh look, there's just that X fund is gone. That XRP. Yeah. What's happening with XRP? Well, look, it is bullish because we've come back above that triangle. Look, it kind of faked out. We lost it. Back tested it. Dropped. Nice swing failure there. And then bye. So basically everyone who sold bought back in, basically. So I don't think it's new participants. I just think it's everyone who sold here suddenly got trapped and now they just market bought back in. That's all it really is. Yeah, I'm not looking at this and going, oh my god, I need to get into XRP. XRP is going to the moon. That being said, that's a really bullish weekly engulfing candle, really bullish, and now we have a bullish continuation candle. Yeah, that's where impulsive big moves begin, with these bullish candles that start from the lows of some kind of major swing failure, fake out. Yeah, so this is actually really bullish. So regardless of what I think about XRP, because I'm not fond of it, it's really bullish. You've lost this triangle low trend line, you're back into it. Yeah, we haven't had a back test. I don't know, I think I would like to see some kind of back test. Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily jump in and catch the pump. I'm not fussed about that. I wouldn't mind if we kind of do test. Yeah, and it may not happen here. If it's really bullish, you know, I won't be in it. You could get the back test on the other side. Yeah, you won't catch it now, but I think that the moral of the story is, don't chase the pump. Let the price fall to your area of interest, and especially you wouldn't chase the pump now, because actually look what's happening now. I'll show you just so you can see. On these candles, we're forming lower highs before we had that sudden market sell. all that's happening now is that the price has come all the way back to where it left off, to where the market selling began. And now we're finding resistance. We haven't taken out that pivot high yet, this pivot high. So if we don't take it out, I'm not saying we are or not, but if the price stutters here, then you could actually just be putting in a lower high on that. And we'll probably be heading right back down again. Yeah. So it's good to see what's happening. It looks bullish. I'm not saying it's not bullish. I'm just saying we might be coming to the end here. Yeah. Just be aware of that. And then you will be looking for a pullback. And I wouldn't mind if we test this this trend line here. I'd like to see a test on that, like a proper test. You see a proper test on that, that'll be an easy long. Okay. Yeah, real volatile one, trying to gain a BTC growth with a sudden high followed by a similar drop point. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Marve, Dawood, Ben, thank you. There's no one else here, actually, just you guys. But there's been like a lot of views, so I don't know. All right, have a good day and don't overtrade. And let's see what happens next. All right. If I see anything, I'll post it on Twitter. I'm not always right, so I just wanted people to be aware. I'll post my thoughts, and then if I see that it's not working, I'll kind of update it. Anyway, if I do see something, I'll post it. So, Crypto Tony, can't stand him, but sometimes he says good things. Strong altcoins are as sound, fundamentally will be the ones to pump the hardest. I agree with that. You have to, when you're trying to invest in coins, don't get attached sentimentally to any of them. Focus on the ones which are bullish, which have good bullish momentum, and we have big, large liquidity pools and communities that will buy at the same time. Okay. Now, 100% TRVL is different. Yeah. So don't put TRVL in that category. TRVL is an innovation and a startup, and it's only just getting off the ground in many ways. Yeah. So when I look at TRVL, I'm not like saying you're going to make shitload of money tomorrow. Yeah. But TRVL, I think, is a massive long-term, like long-term, anyone would be mad not to buy some of this and hold it, and even a small amount. Yeah. Long-term. Like, honestly, I think TRVL, Dtravel has so much upward potential, right? And I'm not even trading it. I'm just holding it. I'm just whatever. I'm just leaving it forever, really, because I know that the Dtravel network is only growing, and because it's decentralized and peer-to-peer, it can't ungrow. Like, it can only grow one way. It can only get bigger. It can't really get smaller. Yeah. And so in the future, the network will grow and the reservations will increase and the bookings will increase. And what's interesting about, I've already talked about Dtravel, but I mean, it's really interesting because for the first time, and I just want to show you, just in case you didn't know, obviously a lot of people aren't following. I am. So I'll give you the updates. What was interesting is that, look, no, that's London, isn't it? This is it, look. Book a private boat charter in the Maldives with crypto. Look at that. So for the first time, yeah, we have a boat. Look at that. So do you see how this is growing? First it was apartments. Now we have boats. And this is a boat charter. Look. So 10 guests, 6 bedrooms, 9 beds, 4 bathrooms. Book a private boat in the Maldives. 2,100. It's a nice boat, huh? It's a big one. Look at that. It's a beautiful ship. That's lovely. And so, of course, it's not cheap, but it doesn't matter because it's like 10 guests. So that's basically like £215 per person per night. Yeah. So it actually becomes quite affordable for a group. Regardless of that, see, Dtravel isn't just doing apartments now, it's going to do boats. Who knows? Anything, really. Peer-to-peer, right? So this is big. Yeah, this is huge. Look, boat in Maldives, another boat. This guy's got boats, huh? Best leisure cruise in the Maldives. 14 guests, one bedroom. So it's a cruise, isn't it? £370 a night. Not cheap. Unlike staying at a resort, there is domestic flight charges. It's quite good, huh? So just a different kind of bullish. I think the bullish that I'm talking about for most people are how to make quick gains really fast. And so naturally, like not is a good one. Yeah. Because it's highly leveraged. People will leverage and they'll leverage to the hilt and they'll push the price up once it starts moving. But you have to take profit. You're not, I'm like, who cares? Who cares about the token? All you care about are the gains. And so not is one of them. And the other, whereas TRVL is slightly different because there's a little bit more of duty of care because the token it's a DAO, isn't it? And so it's like shares of a company in a sense. The other thing that I've been looking at, which is quite bullish too, is WLD. So where is WLD? WorldCoin. Can I find it? I can't. I have to search for it. There it is. Crazy. Look at that. So these are the tokens that you want that you can make a lot. You can lose a lot of money too if you leverage, but these are the tokens that are going to move a lot. Yeah. So they've never had a downturn in the price. They've always been kind of sideways or going up. And in the context of a bull market, these are the ones that can move a lot. This has moved a lot already. Yeah, so it's quite impulsive already. So I haven't really mapped it out, but it's been quite impulsive. And naturally, as far as I'm concerned, I'd be looking for the price to retrace to a major level. And I mean, you could catch the pump now, but I'm not a pump catcher. I don't like catching one. This looks like an extended flat correction, to be honest with you, at the moment. 1, 2, 3. It's like an extended flat. There's probably another wave coming. But I like to kind of see the first wave and then try and catch the wave 3. That's probably the best strategy. And then look for the ABC correction, WXY correction to catch the wave 3. And then you can plan that. Whereas now it's just quite impulsive. It's the first wave. You kind of let it play out. And then you're looking to catch the retrace for wave 3. But this is the token. You know, like something like WLD, not the ones that I'm showing you are the ones that can increase in value really quickly. So even now, this one from its current price, the all-time high is like 300%. But it'll probably end up in price discovery, you know, because that's where it's heading. You know, that's price discovery. All right, guys, I'm gonna head off now. So there's a few people. Marve is chatting, right? Oh, you're talking about XRP. No worries. All right, Marve, Dawood, Ben, everyone else, anyone who's watching later, Craig, Dan, Tim the Chin, Cactus Cake, anyone. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. All right, so it's interesting. So of all of my tokens that I'm in, only 2 of them are green now. ZRO. Oh, wow, that's been quite... So there you go. So this is what I'm saying. Everything's red apart from ZRO. So that's why I'm saying those are the ones you need to be paying attention to. See that? So while... Oh, that's the wrong one. Shit. Listen. See that? So things are pulling back, but you know, in the last hour, ZOR has actually holding and it's going up. So they're the ones that interest me at the moment when it comes to trading, because they're just bullish. They're just really bullish. Like even when the markets are pulling back. Oh, those comments were about Dtravel. Oh, Odinbell, nice to see you. Let me read it again. Sorry, Marve. Oh, it's getting later in the summer, but it has options to expand in the winter as well. I agree. If they would imply a credit line or cashback systems, that'd be interesting as well. These days, a lot of different schemes are added to expensive product to make it more affordable, spread out payments and time. Well, funny that you say that, because there is it's already integrated with Klarna. I've used Klarna, I hate it. I can't stand these third party kind of. Actually, I can't show you on my one because this is blocked out at the moment. Let me show you on one that isn't blocked out. This is my site, so that's why I'm looking at it. Now I have to do a check the availability. God. Klarna. And so you create a credit agreement with Klarna and pay Klarna in installments, and they just pay the host directly in full. Yeah, so there's a credit agreement between the guest or the traveler or whatever and Klarna. So you can do that. That's fine, isn't it? That's probably in this context, that's the best option. I think in the future, and you see, this is the thing, like I'm not directing this, but I do give my comments, and you should too. But I think the potential is limitless, because Dtravel could become like a big brand, and we can do so many aspects of travel insurance, other aspects of travel, holidays, not just trips, not just vacations. And then obviously I've already mentioned that it's being integrated into Travalo as well. So that's already been announced somewhere. I think I talked about it the other time. I see it's on Base now. That's going to open us up to Coinbase. So I'm expecting that to happen, getting onto Coinbase. And then they mentioned something about, what was I talking about? Travalo. I can't see it, but it's there. They made an announcement that they're working on the integration with Travalo. I think firstly and initially they were talking about some kind of widget or something, but which will lead the way to a full-blown integration. So there's a lot of things happening, you know, there's a lot of things going on. It's an ever-changing kind of developing story, and you know, I've been talking about a lot, so definitely don't fade out of this if you haven't got any. This is fucking bullish. What the hell? Why is that one going up and everything else is going down? Okay, Bitcoin is finally. All right, that's interesting. Let me have a look at Bitcoin. That's why. Oh, look, there's a little bit of a bullish reaction here. I can buy some Bitcoin now. And that swing failure, a little bit of a higher low. It's underneath that neckline. No, we're getting a little bit of a resistance actually. It's still a bit early. Let me have a look at Slerf. Yeah, Slerf isn't leading, so I'll leave it for now. But it's interesting because that ZRO is pumping like there's no tomorrow. That. So that tells me that today the only thing I'm going to be buying is ZRO, nothing else. Literally nothing else. Just this one. Where's not? Not is one that I'm interested in as well. I can see not in ENM. I think the alts are going to be fine today, honestly. I think the alts are going to be following ETH. It looks like BTC is bleeding into ETH at the moment. Well, actually, it's not now. Anyway, guys, Harvey's saying, yeah, those good sporting idea side trades, like saving on something like air miles, and the more you use the service, the more you get rewards. Returning customers are gold. I think you know that, yeah. Well, look, let's see what happens. I'm so bullish on Dtravel, you don't realize. I think people think I'm mad, and people ask me for price targets all the time. Who knows? No one really knows. But I don't see why. I don't see why we don't get to the all-time high. Okay. In this context, the all-time high is not correct. It's on MEX. MEX has the correct all-time high at 1.56, and I don't see why we don't get to the all-time high. That would be a 4,000% increase in value. I really do believe that's going to happen in this bull market. And honestly, I think I really think we have this project has the potential. And who knows? Like, no one really knows. So I am thinking a $1 billion market cap. I am thinking like that, but obviously I'm not thinking that now, because we first have to get to 15 cents, then we have to get to the 28, whatever, 30, then we have to get to $1, then we have to get to the all-time high. So I'm not really thinking higher prices until we can actually start seeing bullish. We still have to get past 5.5. We still have to get past 9 cents. Once we start seeing that, if we see that, do you not think we're going to head to price discovery? If you see that, are we not going to get like some kind of crazy impulsive move, take us all the way into price discovery? That's what I'm thinking. Okay. And it will be a short-lived price discovery adventure for sure. I'm not necessarily expecting it to go into price discovery and hang around there, just quite simply because I think a lot of people will be taking profit, and unless there's continued demand, you know, you're going to get pullbacks, you can get drawdowns. But in any case, I don't see why we can't achieve that in the context of a Bitcoin bull market. And what I know is that the volume, when you look at the volume profile, this is the multi-year range volume profile. Yeah, this is on MEX. Look at it, it's all at the lows. So I know for a fact that once we get into the higher prices, there's no volume. So if we get suddenly a surge of demand, then you're going to get really impulsive price action, which is going to take us pretty much vertical. Yeah, you're not going to get it here in the lows because there's a lot of volume. There's a lot of trading going on. You can see this is just MEX. MEX is probably the lowest volume exchange of all of them. Right now, Bybit is the highest volume exchange. And look at where the volume is. It's at the lows. Yeah, so naturally, if you want to get past 5 cents, there's a bit of a high volume node here. So there's a little bit of resistance. Yeah. So it's gonna, you know, it's not gonna be easy, but once you get into the no volume areas, once you change market structure, once you start putting a higher high, everything changes here, and then you're gonna start seeing a lot of increasing volume and take us to higher prices. All right, and my trade plan, my personal trade plan, is that all-time high. That's my target. I'm probably looking to skim at about 2.28 cents. That's kind of my first area of interest for taking some kind of profit with a view to putting it back in. I'm not looking to take profit to any profit I take out of TRVL before the all-time high. I'm going to put it right back in and try and defend a support level. So take out resistance, put it back in at support. That's my that's my idea. But for the end of the bull market, I'm looking for a couple of things. I'm certainly looking for the all-time high to be taken out somewhere 1.56, and then I'm also looking for crazy alt season, like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks of madness. Yeah, I think it's smart to just wait for the retail to go a little bit mental, and then I'm not gonna like advertise it. I'm just gonna slowly start taking profit, and I'll be telling everyone here it's a good time. Time is important. Time to take a little bit of profit and start cashing in, right? And on the higher time frame, people don't realize this. I'm not looking like in the higher time frame. I'm still bullish on TRVL. Taking profit in highly elevated valuations is not a problem, because in the future bear market, let's just say that happens. Oh, that's quite high. I wouldn't mind that. Let's just say that happens in a future bear market. What I'll be looking for then is to accumulate, reaccumulation. Yeah, prolonged bear market, reaccumulate for the next bull market. That's kind of what I'll be thinking of. So basically what I'll be doing is I'll be taking value out of the highly increased valuation, putting it right back in, and in the higher time frame, i.e. the weekly, monthly, yearly, I'm thinking nothing's changed. The projects are still bullish, makes no difference. I'll be looking for a higher time frame. If this is our low, in a higher time frame, higher high, I'll be looking for a higher low. That's what I'll be looking for. So probably in the future, wherever we get to, who knows where, the golden pocket for a bear market, reaccumulation. You just get using your profits to reaccumulate lower down, and that would be really bullish because you get everyone having the same idea. The price will fail to go below the golden pocket, and then the next bull market, guess what happens? It'll go up again. And that's what I'm imagining, right? So if we can all be on the same page, obviously not everyone is, but and obviously I need to grow my audience to make that happen, but one step at a time. All right, guys, I really am going to go. My aunt did a lot of bed and breakfast in the 90s before they started taxing it here. Returning. All right, Marve, Odinbale, and everyone else, have a good day. All right, see you guys.